are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, Super Bowl halftime show, Bad Bunny. It's all the talk of the town. Everybody get their 2 cents to add in on it. I want to talk about this a little bit more, but from a different point of view. Not so much about, we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got to talk about this whole Pam Bondi situation. Should she be in the federal government? Should she be in the FBI? We have some clips from her in the hearing we'll get to a little bit more a little bit later. Also, airspace over El Paso, Texas was briefly shut down earlier today because of some drones that came from Mexico. Some cartel drones, to be specific, because they said, oh, it's not Mexico, it's the cartel drones. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. And also the issue of voter ID. I think I touched on that topic a little bit last stream, but I want to get a little bit more into it. There are quite a few people on Capitol Hill who think that the idea of voter identification is somehow racist. It is not racist. Why must you remember back in the day? Well, not back in the day, back during the scamdemic when you had to have, what was that, a vaccine passport? I guess that's fine. You got to get something shot in your hind parts and have proof that you did it. And that's fine just to be able to go get you a Starbucks drink. But to go vote, the most important right you have, or at least one of them, no ID, make it make sense. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. So I'm going to get straight into what I got to say. Super Bowl Sunday. I put out my short video because I didn't think it was needing a long form video, a short video to get straight to the point, 90 seconds. And then that'd be that. It was funny because I'm reading comments. I read comments occasionally on certain videos because I'm kind of curious about people's takes on certain things more than others. I appreciate all takes, but sometimes I'm a little bit more curious than others. So I'm reading comments. Somebody said something about, oh, why is everybody giving the deep take? I'm like, it's 90 seconds. It's not that deep. But I can give a deep take. If you want to do that, I can do that. But the main thing about the halftime show, I think there were different camps of people who had their opinion. And the reason why I watched it is because I knew that it would be a topic. And I wanted to be familiar with the topic. And somebody asked me, hey, what's your opinion about the halftime show? The same way y'all caught me on my phone talking about what's my opinion about the Obama monkey video. Y'all know who y'all are. Don't even play funny. But the same way y'all do that, I knew that if I didn't give my take on the halftime show, it'd be the same thing. So there was a lot of interest in the subject matter. So I put my 2 cents out there by actually watching both halftime shows to give my opinion. And like I said in my video, people try to simple it down. Oh, so you're saying what I said is what I said. You don't got to try to simple it down or melt it down. What you're saying is both suck. Nah, it's just they were different. Me, I'm not looking for a great message. I'm not looking for some kind of symbolic thing. We're all one. I'm not looking for that in music. Okay, I can get that from other means. In music, I just want to enjoy the performance. I want to enjoy the actual music. That's what it's supposed to be for, right? Same thing with anything. Art, music, anything that is created for you to actually enjoy, I want to enjoy it. If I can't enjoy it, then it is what it is. So I'm sitting there watching it, trying to enjoy it, trying to catch on to some of these beats, some of these hot beats. I didn't see any live instrumentation. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know. But I've said that about previous shows. I think I said that about Kendrick Lamar's show as well. It was the same thing. And that was funny, seeing the race soldiers talk about this from the lens of race. It's like, what's race got to do with it? If you don't like something, it doesn't matter what it is. If you don't like pineapple on your pizza, it's not because you hate you hate Hawaiians. If you don't like pineapple on your pizza, it's not because you hate Hawaiians, because they got pineapples out there. It's not that deep. Maybe, just maybe, you don't like that combination when you're actually consuming the pizza. Just maybe. You go to New York, get you a slice of that pie for $1.25 or $8 or whatever it is now, and they throw some pineapple on that. It might not be too appetizing. That's just your preference, and it's okay to have your own preference. It's not a matter of attacking someone else because of what they like. If you like it, I love it. Some of y'all like some crazy things. Not you guys, because you guys love fantastic, beautiful, family-friendly things. You guys would never be into anything that's a little bit off the grid, off the beaten path. Never would you ever be into anything like that, because you guys are fantastic, perfect. You guys are children of God. You would never. But anyway, I don't like everything, just like y'all don't like everything, and it's totally fine. But some people don't really understand that. Some people just want to be really upset with you. It's okay. Bad Bunny, I don't, Kendrick Lamar, same thing. People make it about a black thing. I don't care. So what? Kendrick Lamar's halftime show sucked too. I don't see it from the point of view of color. I see it from the point of view of, okay, is this good? Do I like it? Do I enjoy it? Am I familiar with this? Can I understand what's going on? Now, if it's not about language, some say, oh, the language doesn't matter. Well, okay. If the language does not matter, then what does matter? I mean, is it the music? I don't see any live instrumentation. They're playing some hot beats from a JBL speaker. It's like, what can I do with that? I can't do nothing with that. I can't do nothing with that. Like, that's not giving me anything that I need right now. I want to be able to enjoy this. You're just playing some elevator music at best. Like, if I go to San Juan, I hop off the airplane in San Juan, and I'm going to my hotel room, they're going to play that in the elevator. That ain't really nothing for a halftime show. But anyway, so they're playing the music. He's out there mumbling. And I don't peek in no panty, right? I don't peek in no panty. But I'm able to hear certain little words. I'm on my Duolingo. I got a few people that speak Spanish that I can connect with and speak to occasionally. Okay. Yo soy frío. Okay, I'm cold. That's all I know. Once you go a little bit beyond that, once you go into like the upper levels of Duolingo, I don't got nothing for you. What you want me to do? Okay, I might be able to change oil, but I'm not going to be able to actually service an airplane. That's kind of the ask you're asking of me when it comes to understanding this language, because not only are you speaking in Spanish, you mumbling on top of that. A lot of people that are Puerto Rican told me, yo no sé, yo no comprendo. That's what y'all tell me. They don't speak in that accent, but you know what I'm talking about. That's more of a Dominican type of Cuban or whatever. But y'all know what I mean. It's difficult. It's just like with rappers. Kendrick Lamar speaks English, but if you don't know his music, and if you can't understand that California rapper accent, you're lost. All you hear is, same thing with Bad Bunny. It's the same exact thing. And it's one thing if you are familiar with the music, because we've had some songs that were in Spanish that became popular in the U.S. Macarena. All you really needed was that one word. And hey, all right. Macarena, hey, Macarena, hey, Macarena, all right. That's all you needed. You didn't need a Rosetta Stone to understand what is being said to understand it. Okay, Gasolina, Daddy Yankee. I got excited when they played Gasolina during the halftime show, because I know that song. That's my era, 2004. I'm 20 years old. I'm outside. I'm in the club. I'm hearing that and Have a Nice Day. I'm hearing that and Have a Nice Day Cafe in downtown Norfolk and Waterside. If you know, you know. Okay. Have a Nice Day. That was like the little mixed ground spot. It wasn't the black club. It wasn't the white club. It was just like a club. They're going to play stuff like that in there. They're going to play Britney Spears, Hit Me One More Time in there. So I know about that pop music that might be in Spanish, but you don't need nothing but one or two words. But with Daddy Yankee, maybe I'm just a little bit old. But the bigger play here is that they wanted him because of the money. The money is the issue. Because Daddy Yankee, I think, is, if not the top streaming artist in the world, he's up there. Always in the top. I think in 2025, he was the number one streaming artist in the world. So if you're able to get the top streaming artist, that is helpful for you as an NFL, because you're able to bring in more viewers just because of this artist. People have no connection to football. They don't care about sports. They don't care about any of the commercials we'll talk about in a minute. They don't care about anything other than Bad Bunny. It's just like what Kamala Harris did with Megan Thee Stallion. Remember when she went to Atlanta for her second rally, really her first rally. But anyway, When she went to Atlanta, she had it right there on the campus of GSU. Right there in the campus. You right there, basically downtown Atlanta. So, of course, you're going to get a bunch of party girls, 99% the girls, because it wasn't a lot of males there. I looked at the footage. And it might be some guys that are coming for the girls, but anyway, you're going to get a bunch of party girls that come to the actual event, not for Kamala, but for Meg Thee Stallion. Okay, you see? That's kind of what happened with the NFL. They don't really care about you and I, the people that watch football, know football, or may not even know who Bad Bunny is. They're worried about just the numbers, the money. That's really the bottom line. You know, they get more viewers, and Bad Bunny is getting more viewers as well because he's going to get new people who are familiar with his music. A lot of people out there pretending they know what's going on. They mumbling along just like he's mumbling along. They don't know what he's saying. Okay, he's mumbling in Spanish. Imagine that. Imagine somebody speaking a foreign language you can't speak. Okay, you get Klingon come down here, so talking all of that stuff, right? And then he's mumbling. So it's like you're not even speaking your Klingon properly. If I get the Rosetta Stone and it has Klingon listed, it's not going to be able to really decode that because you got a little code talker and stuff on top of that. So yeah, not really my cup of tea, but I appreciated the imagery. I saw what they were doing, you know, because it's kind of like what they did with China in 2008 during the opening ceremony. Same kind of thing where they're showing a lot of the history and culture, the ups and downs. They showed the utility poles because for 6 months, I think there was no power in Puerto Rico. Massive months-long power outages that happened a lot. They showed sugarcane because you got the sugarcane plantation that was there. A lot of forced labor, slavery happened in Puerto Rico. You got, of course, the culture, them dancing, and at the tienda, the bodega. It's cool. I recognize that, but it's like, okay. I mean, for me, I already knew all that. But if you were for the first time seeing this, I guess it's something. But for me, maybe I'm a little bit old. I done seen everything. I'm jaded. So it's like, But still, we're going to need the next time. Hey, you know what? Before I go to Turning Point, the next time you should get Chris Brown. Okay, now I know the Rihanna thing happened, but let's let bygones be bygones, right? Let's water under the bridge. She all right. I saw Rihanna one time many years ago, and Chris Brown was in the same place. I think it was at a basketball game, and she went by, patted him on his head, and it was okay. I mean, it was a fight. I'm not saying that it's okay to beat a woman up, but you know, time has passed, and she's okay, so I'm okay. It's time to get Chris Brown. That's all I'm saying. Just get Chris Brown because not only will he get up there and cut a complete rug with the dancing, he's going to be acrobatic. He's going to hit backflips, front tucks, and he's going to sing with the microphone on. Not just mumble rapping. He's going to sing with the microphone on. And you know what I want for real? I want like a live orchestra or a band. I want live instrumentation. One thing that I forgot to say that Prince had during this show in 2007 in Miami was a marching band. He had a marching band for a part of the show. But beyond the marching band, he had the stage and his symbol logo, 2 or 3 background dancers, and a small band on stage for live instrumentation. And he had his electric guitar in the rain, shredding it with high heels on. He didn't slip. He didn't miss a step. Everything was beautiful. Now I know that's a high bar. Prince, Michael, people like this, it's a high bar. I would think even like a Creed or Nickelback, which is like kind of like middle of the road. Creed or Nickelback, they're good because they are neutral and safe. But it's not bad music. It's high quality music, but it's neutral and safe. It's not too boring to the point where it's like, okay, I'm about to go to bed now. But it's not too over the top to where it's like you just mumbling and dancing around like a monkey. Okay, it ain't that either. You just kind of, you know what I mean? Oh, ABL, you said monkey. Please don't nobody get offended. Y'all know how I don't really. Anyway, don't get offended. Middle ground, Nickelback. Look at this photograph. That right there, that's good. But that's not very good for money because these are not very high stream artists. These are not the guys that are like at the top of the charts like Drake and Bad Bunny and Kendrick Lamar and everybody else, you see? So the money ain't moneying for the NFL to do that. They could bring on a Creed or Nickelback, but they won't draw the viewers that Bad Bunny will draw. Now, it's at the sacrifice of some of the audience's attention to the game, but it's okay because the money's going to be the bottom line all the time, every time. But anyway, Turning Points event. Okay, I wanted to address something some of y'all said. Some of y'all said that this is not alternative Christian, because I call that kind of music alternative Christian rock. Kind of like, is it Wind Song? Is that what it's called? Wind Song, Earth Song? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Young guys out there with these big pants on and the alpaca singing, you know what I mean? That kind of, it kind of felt like that a little bit. Some of that, but then like alternative Christian rock. That's what it sounded like. Even if the songs were not necessarily Christian themed themselves, it sounds like what someone who's a Christian would produce. You guys know from Korn, the band Korn, back in the 90s and 2000s, Brian Head Welch, the drummer, well, he had left and became Christian. And he has music out there. And it kind of sounds like that a little bit. It's like what somebody from a rock band, like an alt rock, new rock band would create if he had became Christian. Even if the theme is not expressly Christian. One thing about me, I'm a big music guy, actually. Okay, quiet as kept. I'm a big music guy, so I know a lot about this type of stuff. I have a lot of opinions about this kind of stuff. And I think that's the general theme from the Turning Point event. Alternative Christian rock, even if it is defined as country. And by the way, I'm kind of out of the loop. Maybe I'm a little bit old. I do really enjoy music, but I've not really paid country much mind. Country has changed since I was young. The Achy Breaky Heart, some of y'all don't like that. It's kind of, Achy Breaky Heart was kind of a new school sound for back then. The old school country that I grew up listening to in West Virginia, like on them long drives on the radio, that ain't Achy Breaky Heart and none of that stuff. Or Cotton Eye Joe, which was some Swedish guys from over there making American style music with electronic undertones. But anyway, that kind of music is not my cup of tea. But it's okay it was much better. It was much better than Bad Bunny because the tone of the music sounded familiar. And it's in English. And to have somebody that I actually know, to have Kid Rock. I know Bob with a ball, the bang, diggy. I know that song. So when he came out there, I'm like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. But the song at the end was cool, but again, that's not what I play in my car. If you see me riding around your town, wherever I'm at, I'm probably not going to play any of the music that I mentioned in my vehicle. That's just not what's going on. You're probably going to catch me playing some R&B from the 90s or the 80s, maybe some Michael Jackson or Prince. Maybe I might be playing something like that, or Drake or Future. So it's going to be modern hip hop or like 80s R&B. That's pretty much it. You might catch me on a nostalgic wave. I might play some of that Audio Slave, some of that. What else can I mention? Your Chris Cornell, your Scott Stapp from Creed, that kind of stuff. Maybe, but not very much. So yeah, the Turning Point event, I appreciated what they did. And I think that they definitely put on a great show. I think, even though it wasn't my cup of tea, I think it was a good show. I think next year they'll be able to get a better lineup for sure, because this is their first show, the first halftime show. Maybe I'm mistaken. But once they are able to prove the concept, like, hey, this can really be a thing, people are going to tune in. There are sponsor opportunities here. You can get 50 million views. You're kind of piggybacking off of the traffic to the Super Bowl by having your own event that is a halftime show. Okay, you market it, promote it. It can do well. If you get a better lineup and you promote it a little bit more than what you did, then it can be even better next year. It could break 100 million views, and then it could be a true rival. Well, the truest of rivals to the halftime show. You're not going to be able to get a true 100% rival because of how big how big the Super Bowl is. The biggest event in the country all year is that game. To get any kind of residual impact from that is positive, but it's going to be hard to get a lot of the traffic because their eyes are going to be glued to the actual game, watching whoever's on. And also, here's something else about the NFL did. Although we may not like it, it was strategic because you're going to lessen the risk of people leaving if you get a very popular person, although that person is not popular with the core of the base of the NFL. You see? I would ask how many people watch the Super Bowl who actually watch football all year. It's probably going to be a small number or lower than what you think, even if not small. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. MC Hammer. I mean, look, a lot of these acts we would like to have, but the truth is it wouldn't make the NFL money. Okay, you could bring on anybody that we like, but if they're not really going to bring in the crowd, they're like, so what? I don't care. We all we want is a crowd. We don't care about who's performing. If the people in the world, for some reason, like a lamp pole, there's a lamp pole and the lampshade that can sing, or the lampshade is a mumble rapper, and for some reason this is the highest viewed artist in the world. If that was the case, it'd be a lampshade and a lamp pole on the stage mumbling. That'd be what it is. They'll create some kind of theme around it. They'll add in some dancers and some gimmicks and a celebrity like Samuel L. Jackson talking like Kendrick Lamar. They'll do that, and then that'll be the show. That's where we're going from here on out. So I think it's good to have the alternative shows for those who care to actually see something else other than that very popular thing that the majority of those viewers are going to see, because that's why they tuned in to see that lampshade and the lamp pole on stage mumbling into the microphone. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, and let me keep on rocking here. AIC, what is AIC? Y'all let me know. I'm gonna read some of these comments and I'm gonna keep. Oh, Alice in Chains. Shout out to Alice in Chains. Yeah, that's a good group. Yeah. But back to the country. I almost forgot about that part. The country music. Country has kind of become like rap now. That's interesting. Back in my day, that wasn't really the case. People are saying that rap became part of country back in like the 1970s with that one song. It definitely went down to Georgia. I guess that's the name of that song. But that's not really rap. I don't consider that to be rap. Rap, we know what rap is when you hear it. Rap is bars and hooks. Okay, you got the structure of a song. I can see the structure of a song. Like I'm hearing some of the turning point stuff. It sounds very structured and formulaic, the same way like a lot of rap songs are that are produced really quickly from major record labels. Okay, you got your verse, and now they used to have 3 verses, but now it might be 1 verse or 2 verses. Maybe some of those songs had 3 verses, but you got your verse, you got your lines that rhyme. You're kind of not really singing. You're kind of saying them maybe a little bit melodically, but you're rapping. You are not rapping like, I don't know. You're not rapping like 50 Cent, but you are rapping. And then you have a hook that's like, chant and repeat. The beat changes. I can hear. I'm hearing guitar, like rock guitar riffs. I'm hearing like drums. I'm like, what is this? This ain't really country, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I kind of out of touch. So I think maybe country has changed over the years from what it was back in the day. You got a lot more hip hop producers getting into the mix who have changed the sound. Shabuzi, to be specific. Now, he had that one song. Was it called Tipsy? That was a sample. If you guys don't know, okay, Shabuzi, the guy that I was talking about in the short video saying, well, I made a mistake when I said immigrants built the country. It was really us black folks. It's like, my son, you are not an African American. Do not try to take credits for things you are not responsible for. So I didn't like that. But that guy who won the Grammy, I suppose, or Grammys for his country music performances, his big hit Tipsy came from a song called Tipsy by Jaquan, a rapper from St. Louis. And that song sampled or used the drums from the Clips Grinding. And that was a song I heard every 15 minutes on the radio back in Virginia on 103 Jams. Straight rap. So it's straight rap. There's not any confusion. It is a rap song by rappers. And then you have Shabuzi use it in the country way. You just basically remixed a rap song into a country song. But anyway, that's part of the reason why I say country now sounds like rap. But hey, that's just my opinion. Don't nobody shoot me. I am just the messenger, okay? I am just the messenger. Thank you. Antara Moody says, there is a Dirt Road Anthem by Jason Aldean with Ludacris. Google it. It's Liddy. Okay. So is that the... I think I saw that too when he was rapping. Yeah, I did see that when he was rapping. Yeah. Yeah, Jay Flo said Pusha T was on the list. Hey, you know, it's a lot of guys on the list that ain't nobody talking about. Whoopi Goldberg was on the list. Joe Rogan was on the list. And to speak on that right quick, before I keep on moving here, this is part of the reason why they didn't want to release the list, because people's names are mentioned in the list, but they didn't actually do anything. Or if they did do something, where is it at? If they did do something, where is it at? You can't just say, oh, he was in the list. Yes, but the implication is that he did something wrong. Maybe he didn't. In the case of Joe Rogan, what he said is that they contacted him to interview Epstein and he declined. But for that interaction, now he's in the list. So that'd be a left-wing talking point. Oh, well, you know, this Joe Rogan guy, he speaks to a lot of these men who are in their house and they may be dangerous and he's in the Epstein files. You know, they just slide that in there without giving you the full context. That's how they do. They'll give you a word salad full of true things, halfway true things, straight up lies, and present it all as a fact. And then since you can see some things as being true, you take the entire thing as being true. All you did was just get manipulated into believing a falsehood by using a little bit of truth. The oldest trick in the book, but I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. y'all are funny in the comments. All these bands you naming. 2 Live Crew. Listen, 2 Live Crew was before my time. I'm not that old. I couldn't listen to 2 Live Crew. Like that was like what, 1992, 1994? Yeah, or 1984. They got formed in 84. So yeah, nah, they were really hot like in the 80s. I was a little boy. So nah, there's no way I'm listening to 2 Live Crew. All that stuff that they did in Atlanta in the 90s, Freak Nick and all that, I was way too young. I was like a child. Okay, I was a child. I was not able to go to nothing like that. That's more like Shannon Sharp. Yeah, Shannon Sharp would have been going to stuff like that when he was young and in college. All right. Yeah, late 80s. That's right, back up Texas. Yep. Okay, now somebody says there should be, where's the outcry to boycott Victoria's Secret? Maybe I missed that. I'm not sure what's going on with that. All right. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. We got quite a bit to get into today, but first thing first, you know how I do. Shout out to the sponsors. Thank you guys for being the first sponsor, for watching, retweet, and super chat, and whatever you do. You know I could not do the show without you. But thank you to PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or visit PatriotPost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to Cameo. Go to Cameo if you want a special greeting from yours truly for Valentine's Day, whatever it is. Nothing crazy or freaky, because I will call the cops. Y'all know how I do. I'm going to call the cops. If you say something, hey, ABL. Nah, if you're doing something crazy, I'm going to call the cops. But if you want a nice message from me to whoever you want, you can purchase that on Cameo.com. Search Anthony Brian Logan. I'll pop right on up. Link will also be in the description. Also, please go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, we got the t-shirts, the stickers, the hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, please go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and for each long form video that I produce, I write an article, and in each article, we got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, right in the center, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, so of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you ever think you're speaking to me or not, you're probably not. If you didn't email me first, and the email's on the website, contact@anthonyblogan.com. Email's on the website if you can't remember. If you didn't email me there first and I didn't respond to you, you're probably not talking to me. You are probably being set up to be scammed. And if you keep on talking to them, it's going to happen to you. Don't think that it can't. Okay. Y'all know where they're going to be. It's going to be some dude somewhere in India. Okay. No flip-flops, no sandals, no flip-flops, no socks, no nothing. He could be full-time making the masks you put on your face with the mask right next to his toes, right? Right next to the toe meat is going to be your mask. You can put it on your face. But anyway, after he's done with that, he's going to get on his phone from 15 years ago and go on this scamming mission, trying to find one person to bite on the bait. Please don't do it. Or it's going to be a guy over in Ukraine trying to escape getting drafted and getting deleted by the Russians who will try to scam you. Okay, it's going to be Ivan, Boris, Vladimir, one of these guys trying to get you. Or it'll be a guy over in Lagos, Nigeria, over in River State, Nigeria, over somewhere in West Africa. He might look like my twin brother, my twin cousin. Could be my uncle, could be me. They might have a ABL factory. Okay, mix it together now and get this one here. Put them outside and make them be ABL. It's not me. They gonna put them on the phone. The voice ain't gonna be right. If it don't sound like this naturally, it ain't. That's. I am ABL. This is not the wrong guy. I am ABL. Give me the numbers on the back of the card. Don't do it to yourself. 2026. We don't have time to be getting scammed. Okay, we don't have time for that. Now, let's get straight to it. Let's talk about the Turning Point show. Let's see how that did. Some of you guys liked it. Some of you guys didn't. Let's talk about what actually went on with it. Let's get a little bit of insight here. Then we're going to get into some of the reactions to the whole Bad Bunny thing from the media.
We saw those live stream concurrent numbers just keep climbing. I mean, I think there was like 1 million people before the show even started. And YouTube for just the Turning Point channel alone got as high as 6.17 million live concurrents. If you add that up, we're actually working with a third-party firm right now this morning to find out what sort of a Nielsen equivalent would be for this. But when you add up that live stream plus Rab's live stream plus on just YouTube, we're just talking YouTube. We're not talking about other broadcast channels or anything like this. And so it's Charlie's, Turning Points, Rab's. If you put those 3 streams together, I think you already have the #1 YouTube stream of all time. We're going to confirm that. I'm not here definitively saying.
What do y'all think? Do you think that the halftime show, because they're trying to figure it out, do you think the Turning Point halftime show is the biggest YouTube stream ever? If that's the case, that is big. That is really, really big. That is a big honor because streaming is, in my opinion, the most important part of YouTube. In my humble opinion, I could be wrong. The video library, of course, is important, but the streaming aspect, that is huge.
But it was easily #2. We'll see if we were the #1 live stream in the history of YouTube. That's not counting Rumble. That's not counting broadcast. That's not counting all of these other areas. So we know for a fact that about 25 million streams last night, which is like amazing. And the way Nielsen does their numbers is they'll usually put a 2.5x on that because they're depending on groups watching it together. And I had people texting me, parties of 50 watching the game saying, hey, we're tuned into the halftime show. So I mean, it's going to be an estimate, but we're talking 40, 50 million people tuned in to Turning Point USA's The All-American Halftime Show. So
So that's pretty big. I mean, that's the biggest. If that's the biggest stream ever, that is really, really big. And next year is going to be even bigger because now there's a lot of attention. There's a lot of eyes on it. It makes sense to do because next year, who's going to be at the Super Bowl? Like, it can't really be anybody that you would like. I wouldn't imagine. I mean, who could it possibly be next year? Like, realistically, looking at the pattern of what the NFL does, they're going to bring a big streamer. Or not a big streamer, pardon me. They're going to bring a big artist, a big recording artist who does well on the audio streaming platforms. That's been their pattern over the past couple years now.
This week.
Now, here's Kimmel, one of the biggest haters on television, kind of agreeing with a lot of us talking about the Bad Bunny situation. Surprisingly, because normally this would be a big MAGA, well, Donald Trump hates Bad Bunny. You know how you do. Let's hear from him right quick, shall we?
This week, almost every liberal I know suddenly really into Bad Bunny. I mean, people I've never heard say the words bad or bunny in their lives. Like, I can't wait for Bad Bunny. Oh, what's your favorite Bad Bunny song? I don't know, but I love him. I love Bad Bunny. Here's the thing on me. Did I know any of the songs Bad Bunny was singing? Absolutely not. Never heard even 1 second of one of them. Did I understand any of what he was singing? Yes, the word nunca. That was it. This week, almost.
There we go. So even he's having to admit, it's like, well, look, come on. Y'all don't really know none of this stuff. Y'all just out there kind of pretending. If you do know the songs, if you do love the songs, then shout out to you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, but it's not for everybody. It's not for everyone. A lot of people liked it, but others kind of like, what's going on here? All right, let's keep going. Okay, I'm seeing some of the comments. Bobby Brown, okay, a good Bobby Brown mention. Put some respect on his name. Bobby was that guy. Don't be cruel, my prerogative. Oh my goodness. Change your attitude. Oh, Bobby was the guy until that cocaine got a hold of him. Him and Whitney. Hey, and Whitney, just be clear, since I'm right here talking about it, Whitney was the one to put him on the drugs. It wasn't the other way around, because she was already a mega star before he came into the picture. She put him on, and then before you know it, you got Jaw going this way and that way. All right.
Most people don't understand the lyrics because you're speaking it in what they deem to be a foreign language. That is a legitimate point that the president made. That part. That doesn't mean they had a problem with it. I'm just saying his statement that most people didn't understand anything he was saying. There's millions upon millions of Americans that would have wanted to hear something in English other than Lady Gaga. That is true. And me personally, been nice to see J-Lo out there. Been nice to see Shakira out there. Been nice to see a few people celebrating their Hispanic heritage, no doubt. But it also would have been nice if some of the songs were in English. That's all. The president is speaking on behalf, or was speaking on behalf of, tens of millions of Americans who are like, I didn't understand a word he was saying because I don't know Spanish. That is a valid point. That is a valid point.
There we go. So, yeah, shout out to Stephen A. Shout out to Stephen A. for giving his 2 cents on the whole situation. Now, here we have, this is going to be Morning Joe Scarborough. So what do you think he's going to say? Hey, what do you think this guy's going to say about the halftime show? Oh, me and Mika loved it. We had our coffee in the morning. I mean, at 8 p.m. and we really enjoyed it. It was great. Hold on, let's get some sound. There we go.
There were some people on the MAGA right that took the bait. Well, 133 million people, Rev, watched Bad Bunny go out and just completely own the field, the stage, the country, the world. Lady Gaga comes in. This was a pretty extraordinary statement. Ricky Martin, it was 133 million people watching this instead of alternative programming where they had a guy performing who, of course, throughout his career has preached the glories of, and Franklin Graham, I guess, likes this because he said it was a God and country thing, but a guy who has preached the glories of having sex with underage girls. And,
whoa. Wait, just one doggone minute now. Come on. I don't know about all that. See, I don't like how they could just throw these kind of things out there and they go unchallenged. Yeah.
And setting up escort services atop the Four Seasons. Cowboy.
Okay, yeah, that's just you just hating because I'm sure if you were to hear Bad Bunny's lyrics in English, you couldn't use this whole morality argument that you're trying to use right now with Kid Rock. You couldn't do that when you look at his actual lyrics. And I seen Bad Bunny put on the whole dress and the pair of breasts for a music video. So the morality part, I'm not really sure we can go with that, right? If we're going to use morality, then both sides need to be angels, or one side should be the angel. At the other side of the angel, then it's like, well, what you got going on there, bro? You talking about me? What's up with that? What's up with that dress you wore with the fake breasts in the video? What's up with that? What's up with them two dudes dancing on each other at the actual thing? I don't look too much into people's personal situation unless it's something really crazy I got to get locked up for. But beyond that, so here's an example of that. You separate the art from the artist. Kid Rock, I've not heard about him actually getting accused of any kind of crime, let alone convicted. But R. Kelly's in the penitentiary. R. Kelly got locked up. We know what R. Kelly did, and it's not even like a matter of assumptions. He got convicted and he's locked up and he won't come home no time soon. That's different. With him, I Believe I Can Fly. I'm good on that. You can go ahead and ground that. I don't want to hear that no more. Anyway, Whoopi Goldberg talking about if you hated that show, you're just a hater. You didn't really get it. You're just a hater. You didn't really get it.
It's a good thing about America. You can watch what you want when you want. So you were able to watch Kid Rock, or you could watch Bad Bunny, or if you were smart, you go back and forth just to stay on top of stuff. But you know what I know.
I did do that, so that was good. I watched Bad Bunny and I watched Turner Point. So I agree with you, Whitney. Whoopi.
I'm sorry, I keep laughing because I think you don't recognize excellence and creativity when you see it. Do you know how creative that was?
Yeah.
What he did.
Yeah.
I mean,
the production alone.
It was just
unbelievable.
I mean, come on, man.
I know.
Come on, man. That's that Joe Biden. Hey, you've been in Hollywood a little bit too long, Whoopi.
I mean, he was upset. He said no one would understand what was being said. You didn't understand.
Yeah.
A lot of people did.
You didn't have to understand or speak Spanish to feel the joy and to feel the unity and the message of inclusivity that was there.
Yeah.
See, this right here, I mean, come on. This is why a person like this should never be leading anywhere. The joy, feel the joy. What joy? I don't really understand. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't. My clock don't tick like that. My clock don't tick like that, so I don't really understand what's going on. But anyway, yeah, shout out to the hat. Shout out to the hat. Okay, that's a nice touch, Asuncion. You want to be what you want to be when you want to be. You know, a lot of days you're a black woman, and then right now you're Boricua. I see how you do, but it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. You kind of like a shapeshifter, a chameleon. That's totally fine. Let's go to Ana Navarro, okay? From Nicaragua. Let's see what her take is on it.
Micro joys help us deal with macro sadness. Yeah. I have had macro sadness for over a year under Trump, seeing what he has done to my community and what he continues to do to my community. I am so grateful to Bad Bunny for having given me that micro joy, and I will see that halftime show. I've seen it 5 times already.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Let's go back to the football. So it says the football the ad says together we are America. I suppose that says. I don't think it says amigo. That's racist. I think it says America. So yeah, shout out to them for that. The feelings and whatnot. Nah, it's just, is it a good show or not? Oh, here's one. I'm sorry for the view, but I'm almost done with the view. I'm gonna move on. I wanted to play this because I saw quite a bit of this. It's like, okay, if I don't like this performance, then I can't eat queso and tortilla. It's like, excuse me. Just because I don't like this performance, I mean, I don't like anything Hispanic or anything inspired by Hispanic people. I mean, I like avocado. I'm gonna eat that regardless. Is okay. If I eat an avocado, doesn't mean that I am not allowed to. If I eat avocado and tortillas and wait, chili con carne, if I eat all of that, does that mean I must also listen to the music to Bad Bunny?
Was I?
There's a lot of Mexicans from Mexico, Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico who don't listen to Bad Bunny. It's just like if you living right here in the USA. Okay, well, in the continental low 48 speaking English. And you got a rapper, mumble rapper. Okay, I'm not going to listen to the music. That does not preclude me from consuming American style food because of that one guy that I don't like musically. But anyway, let's watch some of this here.
Most ironic thing,
What?
all these people hating on Bad Bunny are sitting there eating their tortilla chips con guacamole,
I know.
their queso dip, their chili con carne, watching a Super Bowl going on in Santa Clara, California. No joda.
So, how do you think I feel when people are laying out trying to get some sun?
Okay, that's quite enough of that. That's quite enough of that. My, oh my. All right, let's move forward. Okay, now we got my man right here. He's going to go to the defense of Bad Bunny. I saw some of this. I didn't see the entire thing. I want to see it with y'all. So this guy, captain, he's a captain of the Bad Bunny Defense League. Let's watch.
Boy, I really love the Super Bowl this year. The halftime show was amazing. It's a big F you to MAGA. It had everything. It had trans people, it had Lady Gaga, it had Ricky Martin, and it was all fabulous. I love.
All right. So first of all, shout out to the cat in the background. I heard the meow. How many do you have? Do you have a cat farm? I don't really know. Are you male, female? Listen, 2026, I don't know nothing. You got AI videos. You got random genders. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, I slap it in the face to MAGA. Why is it gotta be political? Why is it anything about that? It's just a performance. Either you enjoyed it or you didn't. Now, I'm sure that if I was into Puerto Rican mumble rap and I spoke Spanish, maybe I'd be able to get something from it, but I'm not, so I didn't. And it's just as simple as that. Ain't no political stuff, but yeah, shout out to you, bro. Hey, your beard, that's beard goals, but your mental, hey man, you got to go ahead and fix that one day. But shout out to him. And shout out to y'all for watching. Let's keep on rocking here. So this person said they prepared. Hey, you know what? I don't know. Maybe she's just joking. Maybe she's not. But she said she prepared for the halftime show because he said to prepare. You got 4 months to speak Spanish. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to learn. Let's hear from her.
Don't even piss me off. All these people who are doing a crash course in Bad Bunny. Bitch, I've been listening to Bad Bunny, blasting it, learning it, playing it for months. Why did you think that you were going to start listening to Spanish music as an English speaker and need to only listen to them for the week before the Super Bowl? No, baby, I've been preparing for this for months. Get out of my way.
Okay, so, hey, I think maybe she's telling the truth. Maybe she's trolling, but probably telling the truth. So she prepared for months. Did any of y'all prepare for this event? Was like, you know what? He said I got to study for the next 4 months. I need to prepare. I got to get on my, what I got, Rosetta Stone still, my Duolingo. I take a class. I got to go outside. Like, did you prepare for this moment or no? I think the majority of us will say no. But shout out to her for giving it the best effort she could. Shout out to her. All right. Let's keep rocking here. Okay. Now, this is funny. This is just a funny video. So the caption here says, you don't have to speak the language or know the words to enjoy the music. And then it says, or to recognize the significance of bringing the masses together on such a platform. Heart emoji. Okay. Check it out. Hey, you know what? If you're enjoying that, whatever is being said, if you're enjoying that, then I'm not knocking it. Okay. Love what you love, play what you want to play in your car. You having a good old time walking down the street. It's fine. But if it's ABL in my car and I'm hearing that, I'm like, man, let's turn that right now. Let's turn that right now. Hey, let somebody be in my car and they put on they try to connect the Bluetooth. Hey, I'm gonna play some hot beats. Okay, let's hear the hot beats. And then it's this. Hold on. I can't do nothing with that. I can't do a thing with it. But hey, shout out to her for enjoying the music. You know, I'm not a hater. If you, whatever you enjoy it. But for me, I can't do a thing with it. You think they probably trolling? Or the person with the studying probably trolling. Now, let's move forward. This guy says, hey, you know what? You guys on the other side politically, check it out. We will create our own place, do our own thing, and y'all will not be part of it. Okay? Let's hear from my man and see what he says. Okay, let's try some sound. That might help. Maybe a little bit. All right, check it out.
Your ignorance will not be marked as an excuse. At this point, you have been willingly so, and you will not be welcome back into whatever society we build without you. Your time is done.
Okay, now, bro, I don't know what kind of society you're going to build, but if I'm excluded, hey, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. You guys, whoever is part of your team, part of your clique, whoever is your ilk, whatever you guys want to do, go out there and do it. You want to start a commune in the woods? Fine. It's okay. Matter of fact, I actually encourage that. I want you, bro, and all of your colleagues, all of your comrades, all of your allies to just group up. Hey, I propose somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, not in nice areas. Go kind of like off to a patch where ain't nobody at. Stay out there, and that'd be great for the rest of us, for sure. All righty. So how about y'all? Do you want to go to his commune? Is that where you want to be? You want to go out there with that? And I see them all talk about that. They say, oh, we want to do our own thing. Okay, listen. Go do your own thing. Go out there to somewhere in the mountains or somewhere in the valley and just start fresh, start anew. That's totally good. That's totally good. Exactly, Jennifer. Please exclude me. Yeah, and you know what? I would not be talking about racism if it's an all-white place, which it probably would be because I'd be outside. I won't scream racism. I'll say, you know what? Let them have whatever they want to have. Because at that point, it's not even about no color. It's about just the mentality. Just the ideology. So go out there and do that. Okay, now, let's keep rocking here. Okay. She has a message for Trump voters. So I guess that's me. So I'm going to go ahead and respond. Let's see what she says.
And if you weren't aware, if you voted for Trump, you voted for a racist. So you are, yes, that's what you are. Nope, I don't want to hear it. Nope. And
okay, so I wanted to respond to this because where's the evidence? I mean, this has been years now. You're talking about Trump's a racist. Well, since he came into office or when he started running in 2015, but I got a pretty long memory. I'm not 5 years old. I know a little bit about a little bit. And I remember when Trump was a friend to the black community. We all loved him. We put him in rap songs. Trump was part of us. I see Trump as black. Y'all might see him as orange, as white, or whatever color you want to see him as. I see him as one of us. So racism where? Where is the actual evidence of any kind of racism? Just because you say it don't make it true. Maybe you're watching television and they frame things in a certain way that make you believe that. But I implore anybody out there watching, anybody out there listening, do your own research. Don't believe what anybody tells you on the internet. This whole racist thing, when did that, I mean, they try to just put so much stuff out there because they want to stay in power. It's not even about Trump himself. It's about them not having power because most of the people, most of the leaders that we've had have been related. Like Obama, that's like what HW's cousin through his mom. Yeah, his mom's father was first cousins with HW or something like that. It was something crazy like that. So yeah, that's what they are trying to get you out of. Voting for somebody who's not part of them, voting for an outsider. They want you to go back to voting for the insiders. That's it. But didn't they say that all U.S. presidents were elected except for Donald Trump? Didn't they come up with a study that said that? Hey, we may have interrupted a dynasty that they got going on behind the scenes. and they don't like it. So they're going to try to get us back on the right page, back on the right track. All right. Now, can I show you guys something? I have a question. And sorry for the music, but I got to play it because it's one of these TikTok videos. You know how they do. They just play. The content is so mindless. It's like you could just sit in front of the camera and go like this. And it'd be a caption right here for like 5 seconds. And if you're consuming that all day, it's like, what are you really getting as far as any kind of intellectual content? When I make a short video, I'm trying to like make a message get across. Even if it's entertaining, I still want you to be able to hear a message and not just be fed a quick, hit. It's like a quick crack, hit a crack, basically. But anyway, what's going on with the guys in their nails? What's going on with that? Like, is that a thing that the young people do?
Eyes wide open, I can see right through you. Talking all that shit when I never even knew you.
Okay, now I'm sorry for the middle finger. I'm sorry about that, but y'all know how people are. Now, let's go back. I just want to address this to the young guys out there, for the young guys especially. This caption says maggots. I guess that's us. Because that word sounds pretty familiar. It sounds like the F word. It start with an F and end with an agate. You understand what I'm saying? It sounds like that. That's not very nice. But they call us that. But that's okay when they use language that sounds like homophobia to us. Although if we were to use it, then they'd be homophobic. Anyway, the MAGAs always get so triggered seeing men with painted nails, but I've seen stronger, more character from a dollar store flip-flop. We ain't the same, I'm better. Okay. What's up with this, though? I don't understand when did this come about. When I was young, that'd never be a thing that men did. That never. Unless you were like Marilyn Manson or something like this. Not like a regular guy. Not just Joe working at Outback Steakhouse. That was never going to be a thing. And you went to the actual nail tech. You went to the Vietnamese people to get your joint. You went to where the black girls be going. That's where you went. You got little stuff on you. And what is that? When I was young, you could never do nothing like this. Getting your ears pierced. My dad would be like, "You're gay for getting your ears pierced." Any kind of like attached. I don't have no tattoos, no piercings. Even having like your hair too long was considered gay. Off the ball, my whole life, I always had a low cut or a bald head. I'm talking about you don't need to have no guard on the clipper. Hey, take a pair of take a pair of trimmers and just go like that on my head. That's pretty much what I had with a line. When I got to be I had a bald head in high school. That's kind of what I was doing. All of this stuff right here, I don't know nothing about it. And I think this is part of why there's an issue with the young men, because it's too much feminization. It's not real men out here. The men want to be pretty. The men want to be, the men want to adorn themselves and be more like women. And that's not going to help with your society. It'll produce weak males. And we all know the thing. The weak males, hard times. You know the thing. So there we go. But I just want to know, is that an old guy? Am I old? Am I washed? Am I the unk? Am I unk now? What's going on? I don't understand. I don't get it. Now, somebody talking about race. I seen the black dude. I saw a podcast with Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder, right? This was with Andrew Schultz on his podcast. The co-host is a black dude with painted nails. I just don't really understand. Now, speaking about transgenders and stuff like this, we had a mass shooting in Canada in a small town called Tumbler Ridge in British Columbia. So kind of like isolated, far out, hunting, kind of like a village, kind of, sort of. This guy shot and killed at least 9 people, maybe 10, and injured many others. So look. That's him right there, okay? It says transgender shooter Jesse Strang has killed 6 children and 3 adults after opening fire at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School in Canada. And he didn't just shoot the school up, he shot his house up too. He killed his mom and his stepbrother. Where's the dad at? See, they got a problem right there. But look, he killed 3 girls, age 12, 2 boys, age 12 and 13. the teacher 39 and his mom 39. Interesting. And then the stepbrother Emmett. Okay, now this right here, the white male, especially transgender, a super predator. Super predator. These guys are dangerous because these guys are easily radicalized into an extreme way of behavior, into the transgender thing, and that can cause them to spiral and then go shoot people up. It was a transformer or a guy that had a transgender person in his vicinity that shot Charlie. We've seen so many of these incidents like this where they go to schools, churches, or whatever and do stuff. The shooter in Nashville was a transgender biological woman who identified as a man. This guy is a man identifying as a woman, 18 years old. So my question is, how do you solve such a thing? Oh, one thing you could do is not play into the actual nonsense of calling them by the preferred pronouns. Hey, if you got a boy in front of you, a man in front of you, call him a male. Call him a male. Don't call this person trans or not. Boy, girl, male, female. That's it. However you present yourself, you want to put on pretty nails like the other dude did. You want to be Paul Bunyan with a full set. It's okay, but at the end of the day, you're still a man. You want to be a woman, dress on like the brat, dress on like a bull dagger, dress on like you about to go bust into somebody's house with fire gear on. It's okay, but you're still a woman. Now this, hold on. Okay, this is the superintendent of, I'm not sure what this is, but he's an official out there in this area talking about gun. Did you guys see this? He says gun person, because normally you're talking about a shooting, a gunman went on a rampage, a gunman's on the loose, the gunman got subdued, and by the way, he asked himself at the end. But this person doesn't say, he didn't say gunman, he said something else. Check it out. Let's get some sound. That'll help.
Ashley Janot.
Hi. Sorry, I'm just hoping you can confirm. By my count, forgive me, it's 10 people who've died, because there were the 6 found at the school plus the 1 died in the hospital, gets us to 7, plus the shooter, and then the 2 found at the separate home. Doesn't that get us to 10? I just want to make sure the number is correct.
You're correct. And
Okay.
Christian, I apologize for that. The shooter was not included in that 9. It is 10 total.
Okay. And then I just want to in the hospital.
Did he say it right there? Maybe I missed it. All right, maybe he didn't say it right there. Okay. Let's keep going here. This is an LGBTQ LMNOP activist. I'm going to try to find that video where you said gun person. This guy says that the first victim in this case is the shooter himself. The guy who killed all them innocent people, including his own mom.
As a person who went to school, had hateful comments directed my way, the first victim of this tragedy was the shooter.
All right, now I'm gonna try to hold on. Let me come back. I forgot I didn't have the video up. I'm gonna try to hang with this person.
As a person,
I'm sorry, I got stuff from the top because I ain't have it on the screen. Sorry about that.
as a person who went to school, had hateful comments directed my way, the first victim of this tragedy was the shooter. And you can disagree all you want. But that person did not just decide one day that it was the day. It was the day that they could not take it any longer.
Take what, though? Take what?
I know it's a small community, but you know what also comes with a small community? a small mindset.
Oh, okay. So it's the community's fault that he did what he did. So because he identifies as whatever he wants to identify, because he's dealing with some kind of internal issue, and those on the outside are not reacting in the way that he would like, that means it gives him license or an excuse to go out there and kill 10 people. Make that make sense, bro, sis, whatever you want to call yourself.
An uneducation to understand that maybe difference is okay. The first victim to this tragedy was the shooter.
Okay, see, that right there, that's that kind of mentality, that absolves you of any kind of personal accountability. Zero personal accountability. Now, we expect that from women, but not from men. We can't both not want to accept responsibility. Now, I'm not saying, oh, don't nobody get offended, but you know what I'm saying. We expect that more from women than men. But if men want to start doing that, now we're toast. Now we're toast because there's no responsibility, no accountability. Nobody will get anything done except for the very select few, because men got to be the majority of those who step to the plate and do something. Men got to be the majority of those who actually take accountability, take responsibility, have initiative and ambition. If you don't have that, then you have no society. Your society will fall. And I'm not saying that women lack accountability. I'm saying that men are better at that, in my humble opinion. There's things that men are better at than women and vice versa, because we're not the same. We're different. We're separate equal. We're different but equal. Some things that men do well, women don't do well. Some things women do well, men don't do well. And it's okay. But when we begin to encroach upon each other's territory and do things that the other do well, and we try to imitate it, that's when things get weird. It's just like, okay, now you got men wanting to be involved with women's sports. Why not? I'm a girl too. It's okay. It's not. It's not. When things happen, like somebody got assaulted recently, I ain't going to show that, but there was an assault allegedly. There was a young lady wrestling against a transgender. So, of course, what's going to happen? Y'all rolling around. This is a man still, a young man. Testosterone is in there. I don't care about estrogen or nothing like that. He still got testosterone. So there was allegedly a sexual assault that happened. He put his hand somewhere where it shouldn't have been. And I'll leave it at that because we got kids watching. See, that's what happens when men encroach upon women's spaces where they shouldn't be, where men try to do what they do. Let them have their space and you have your space, and we come together when it's appropriate, but not all the time. Do I make sense? Can I get an amen?
We're not.
Okay, now the person in question transitioned at 12 years old. Now, this reminds me of something I said back in the day. Remember Jubilee? The first time I went, not second time, because I was on 2 times. Shout out to me. But anyway, when I went on Jubilee for the first time in 2020 during this camp, right when the pandemic hit, I think that was March 13th, 2020, right when the pandemic, right when it sparked. And we all kind of were feeling it happen. They're trying to cancel stuff and delay stuff. But right at that time, the pandemic hit. I'll never forget them in the airport. I've never seen so many humans wash their hands in public before. I'm talking about everybody was at the actual sink. So my question is, okay, when you went to the bathroom and hit number 2, did you just leave the bathroom without washing your hands? What's going on? But anyway, I digress. My point is that I was out there right when the pandemic hit for my first time on Jubilee. And on that episode, I said that Dwayne Wade allowing his 12-year-old boy to become transgender was out of bounds. If you want to be transgender or whatever you want to be as an adult, knock yourself out. But when you do such things at 12 years old, there's going to be problems. As we see here, you got this guy who became transgender at 12, and at 18, he not only still shoots himself, because the idea is if you don't let them transform, if you don't let them become transgender, then they're going to want to hurt themselves. He still hurt himself, and he killed 10 other people. So obviously, this whole thing is not something that should be done. It's not going to help. Try getting this person some actual real help. Try getting him off Reddit when he's 12 years old. Try not allowing him to be exposed to things that his brain can't handle at such a young age. And then maybe he wouldn't want to be transgender. And then maybe he wouldn't start to school up at 18 years old. Just maybe. I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah, yes, I was on Jubilee, Matt. I was on Jubilee in 2020. It was episode, something about black conservatives. I forget what it was. And then I was on there last year with Amanda Seals for a similar thing, but it was different. So you can find me. It's easier to find. All right. Now, here's the police out there talking about we're going to respect the preferred pronouns of this particular individual.
We're not hiding it. In fact, you're the first media to ask the question. I will say this. We identified the suspect as they chose to be identified in public and in social media. I can say that Jesse was born as a biological male who approximately, the information that I have, approximately 6 years ago began to transition to female and identified as female, both socially and we're not hiding.
So there we go. See what I'm saying? So do you guys think you should be able to transition underage, 12 years old? Is that something that should be happening? I don't really get it. Hey, try smoking a pack of cigarettes. If you can't smoke cigarettes or drink beer or anything like that until you get to be 18, 21, whatever the case may be, then why would you be able to become quote unquote transgender at 12 years old? It makes no sense. Hey, Buster Five, I got you, Buster Five. Hey, I better Joni says she called you Ant Dog. Remember, man, listen. When you're in the moment, sometimes things, and to talk about what I'm saying here, to give context, when I was on Jubilee last year with Amanda Seals, when I spoke to her, and one of my partners spoke to her, she called me Ant Dog. Hey, Ant Dog. When I was right there talking to her, I didn't even hear that. Well, I might have just ignored it. And one of y'all pointed it out to me. I'm like, she said that for real? And then I played it back. Ant Dog. I'm like, all right, Amanda, there we go. I've not been called Ant Dog since I've been like 15 years old, but go ahead. All right. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, I'll move forward a little bit, but I'm going to show you something. If you want to go out there and commit crime, first of all, don't. That's my first bit of advice. Don't commit crime. But if you do commit crime, and you want to call yourself running away, going to somebody's backyard, going in a trash can, listen, they can find you. They got technology that can easily find where you at. You're not going to be able to hide. They got dogs. First of all, they got dogs that can track your scent. Then they got cameras that can see you from above. You know, I saw a big uproar about the Ring camera. You don't got to worry about that. They got cameras that can see you much better than those Ring cameras can. That ain't nothing. The Ring camera going to be for like lost dogs. And they got to find you. They got things you've not really seen before that can actually find you. What I'm going to show you is something that you can see or you may have seen before. But trust me, they got stuff like this and a lot more that you have not seen or you may not quite understand. So what they did, they found this guy in the trash can because of the infrared heat sensor. I guess that's what it is, right? They were able to detect the heat signature from the trash can. So check it out. Now, he thinks he's so slick. Oh, I'm in the trash can. They can't find me in here. Like Metal Gear Solid. You in the trash can. Nope. They spotted you. And they got that aimbot. They're going to look straight in the trash can.
I think we got it.
Yeah, come on out. Come on out, bro. Hands. And that's it. They got you. And ain't no hiding.
All right, they made contact with an individual inside of the trash.
Hey, I'm all about privacy inside your home if you're not doing nothing illegal. But if you outside carrying on, acting the fool, man, they gonna find you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Everyone, I owe you dinner.
I like ribeye steak.
There we go. So shout out to my man. Shout out to them out there. This is in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. Had to get the suspect. He's hiding. Gotcha. Hide and seek. Hey, hide and seek cheat code all day long. All right. Now, this is going to be Chris Pratt, the actor, talking about there's some things that Trump is doing that I like. Okay, let's check it out here.
Having dinner, I'm not going to pick his brain to find out exactly which of those things are true. I just kind of assume that none of them are. And for the most part, I wish him well, man. I hope there's certain things that he oversees that seem to be supported in a bipartisan way, like getting terrible toxic stuff out of our kids' food. I think that's a great thing. And so if you do that, that's amazing. I'd hate to be so mired in hatred for the president that any success from his administration is something I'd have an allergic reaction to. To be like, oh, well, if they do it, I don't want it to happen. I'll put Clorox in my children's cereal myself. It's like, come on, be reasonable here. There's certain things that would be a good thing to have. I want them all to be successful. Having dinner, I'm not going to pick his.
There we go. So shout out to Chris Pratt talking about Trump. It's like, hey, you know what? There are some things that he's doing that I like. Even if I might not be the biggest fan, but there are some things that he's doing that I like, and I appreciate that. If Joe Biden was to emerge from his tomb and do something that I liked, I would give him total credit for it. I'd give him all the credit in the world if he did that. If he was able to rise from his crypt in the middle of the daytime, right? Pop into action and get something done. Hey, I'm rocking and rolling with you, bro. But all he did was just stay in the crib and then keep the border wide open. That's all he did. So that's not really what I wanted from a president at all. But anyway, let's keep on going here. Right. So we're going to talk about food for a minute because we got the whole Make America Healthy Again. As you guys see the commercial during the game with Mike Tyson. Okay, that's a big ad spin, but I think we need it. Oh, and to speak more about the game before we continue, just the commercials. So a lot of the commercials I saw during the game, you talking about, okay, what did we see during the game? We saw Ozempic and Ozempic. I got to talk about this for just 1 second, please. Hey, we got time. I won't keep you all night, but I got to talk about this. If you can afford Ozempic, then you can afford healthy food. You can afford to diet and exercise properly. And really, what Ozempic does at the end of the day, what it will force you to do is stop eating. Now, it does that in its own way with your brain and your gut working in combination. It changes some of your brain function and it changes some of your gut function. Okay, that's how Ozempic works. And the ultimate goal is to stop you from eating. You want to eat more, but you can't. When you eat more than what you can eat, you'll become sick. It will physically curb your appetite. Now, if you still eating a bunch on Ozempic, you got willpower. Hey, you know what? Watch this. Watch this. If you are still eating a lot while on Ozempic, that means you have willpower. You are so determined to eat all that big bad food, you didn't bypass the medication that is designed to make you stop eating it. You don't care if you get sick, if you on a toilet crying tears, you still gonna eat that food. So how about let's just use that same willpower to not eat the food? Because you got the willpower, you got the determination, you got the strength. You can go hard. Because imagine overeating while on the drug that stops you from eating. That's called willpower, determination. Use that same thing to stop eating. You don't need to buy Ozempic to do it. And the thing about Ozempic, you will lose weight, but you're not eating properly. Because when you eat, you want to eat nutritiously dense foods. The nutrients are what your body needs to be full and complete. It's what your body needs to ward off disease, to stay healthy. It's not just about calories. It's about your nutrients in your food. You could just eat straight McDonald's all day. You could just drink Diet Coke all day, but it's like, where's the nutritional value in that? All you're doing is eating soybean, sugar cane. You're not eating nutritious food. And what Ozempic does make you eat the bare minimum. So you're going to eat the smallest amount of what you actually like, which may not be high in nutrition. But since it's going to be a small amount, you will lose weight because your body doesn't have enough to be able to maintain your weight. And with that weight loss will also come muscle loss. So when you see yourself at the end of it, it's gonna be like a pinprick, and it's like, oh, also Serena Williams. Now, Serena Williams was in the GOP1 commercial. Her husband, who is the founder of Reddit, if I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, he has a stake in the company. Food for thought. But anyway, let's watch this.
My favorite, I mean, I've got a place in LA. My favorite story of American food, which it always startles me. If you have a loaf of bread in London, within a week it's molding.
Yeah.
That same loaf of bread in LA, I can leave it there a month, 6 weeks, 2 months. Nothing's changed.
You got to look at the difference in the number of ingredients in McDonald's fries in the UK versus the US.
Yeah, really?
We could really
This
go
is-
down
this
that
is like
bandwagon.
Really?
Is the first stat. So the UK and Europe is 3 ingredients, and one of them salt, which is optional, and the US is 15.
Is it really?
Ingredients, and this happens across the board. This is Cali Means and Casey Means big thing,
Oh, yeah.
right? Kellogg's are using the same factory that makes Fruit Loops for the US, also makes it for Canada.
But why? Why the wild discrepancy? My favorite, I mean,
So you see what's going on. And you know what? Store to store, the food is different in the US. So if you go to Costco and you get the Ocean Spray, if you go to Costco, get the Ocean Spray cranberry juice, it has a lower sugar content than that exact same product in the regular grocery store. It's the same product, same brand, same drink, everything, but it has a lower sugar content in Costco because people know that if you put that, what I get in Costco, if you put it in the store, it won't sell as well as the one with the higher sugar content. The lowest selling cranberry juice is going to be the organic with no sugar because it's bitter. It's not very good. It's like wine kind of with no wine, with no alcohol in it. It's kind of like that. So if you're not really a red wine person, you're not going to like it. So you got to put sugar in to make you like it. But at Costco, they know they're dealing with a more refined audience, so they can afford to give it a little bit less sugar because we're not super sugar fiends like that in Costco. Does that make sense? So you're going to find discrepancies even in the place, even in America, even in the same city, it'll be discrepancies depending upon where you go to get your food and your drink. All right, but let's keep going here. Duel says, what's my opinion on the Costco Walmart ready-to-eat chickens? Costco or Walmart, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, they have the ready-to-eat chickens in Costco and Walmart. Is it the same thing? Is it the same thing? Am I saying the right thing? Hold on. Yeah, Ocean Spray. That's what I said. Yeah, Ocean Spray. All right, let's keep going. Here's Mike Tyson talking with RFK Jr. All right, shout out to Iron Mike. Hey, we got some good cultural people. We got Nicki Minaj. You got Iron Mike. Okay, I like that. I like that Mike did not just do the commercial. He's going on Fox. He's going on speaking. He's really out there promoting this thing that we need. And I think part of this movement to eat real food is because the government sees just how much money is being spent on these weight loss drugs. During the Super Bowl, what did you see? You saw gambling, crypto, which is also gambling, Ozempic, and then what else? That was the main AI. That was the main thing you saw during the commercials. And that's a good gauge of where the country is, because what I know about any kind of television programming, anything like that, any YouTube video, the ads are going to be curated for the audience. That's how it works. So if you're watching, let's say HGTV, you're going to see commercials for, cat food, Swiffer mop, home things, because you're watching a thing that would imply you have a home in which these things are needed to purchase. Super Bowl, they realize you got a large swath of the country and the world, so you're going to promote things that speak to them. And that comes from the companies themselves. They know kind of where they stand. They know what's going on. They know they have the money to be able to spend on this ad, and then they give them a big return on investment. This is a thing that they talk about for a long time. They got boards of directors who put a lot of thought into this. They spend a lot of money in it. So whatever you see during the commercials of the halftime show, that is the direction of the country. for the most part, economically. All right, but let's watch this.
I come from Brownsville, Brooklyn. It's the most violent, poverty-stricken neighborhood in the city of New York. And ultra processed food was just the norm. Everything was processed food. We didn't have much money, but we had food stamps, and food stamps can buy you the candy, the sugar, and all that soda, 7th, and all that rotten stuff. And that's just all we knew. And the food that we ate was pretty much processed. It was gizzards, guts, and stools and stuff of weird animals. And I come from Brownsville, Brooklyn.
All right, there we go. So there go Mike talking about what's happening. But yeah, a lot of that food out there. And sometimes people say this. Here's a big excuse. They say, I live in the food desert, ABL. Well, first of all, I see people that live in so-called food deserts get stuff DoorDash to their house. If you could get food DoorDash to your house that you can just eat right now, ready-made hot food DoorDash to your house, then you can get groceries from Walmart doing it the same way. And you can get the Walmart groceries. They can send it. You can have somebody go shop for you, and they bring it straight to your house. So there's no excuse. People just want to do what they want to do and make an excuse for it. But let's keep going here. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. So this is going to be pretty interesting. I saw this story a little bit, not to be presented in this way, but I thought that it could be presented in this way. Matter of fact, I'm going to just play it so you understand what I'm talking about. And after you see it, then it's going to make sense what I'm saying. This is going to be a World Economic Forum bioethicist. Is that a word? Okay. Dr. Matthew Liao, Liao. All right. Matthew Liao, Liao. Check it out.
So I'll give two examples. So one is that people eat too much meat, right? And if they were to cut down on their consumption on meat, then they would it would actually really help the planet. But people are not willing to give up meat. Yeah, some people will be willing to, but other people, they may be willing to, but they have a weakness of will. They say, wow, this steak is just too juicy. I can't do it. I'm one of those, by the way. So, but so here's the thought, right? So it turns out that we know a lot about, we have these intolerance to, for example, I have milk intolerance. And
same.
Some people are intolerant to crayfish. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you will become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering. We can kind of possibly address really big world problems through human engineering.
So what do y'all think he's talking about? What would that look like? Releasing the thing into the wild that can just bite you. You don't even know it. And then the next day, you want to go get you a nice big sirloin steak, tomahawk, New York strip. Nice and give me a nice sear, but I wanted to be mooing a little bit on the inside. Hey, you know what? I used to be a guy that would get shoe leather. I admit, I was a shoe leather guy back in the day. Okay, let me get a steak, let me get it well done. And the reason why you did that is because if you eat a steak that's not well done, then it might not be cooked all the way, and you can't afford to get sick. But now, I got a little bit of money in the pocket. I'm feeling a little bit adventurous. Let me get a rare steak. When I had it for the first time, I was like, wow, I did not know what I was missing. Hey, before I was the kind of guy, I get a shoe leather steak, well done, with A1 steak sauce or Worcestershire sauce. I got a story about how that happened, but I ain't gonna talk about that right now. That's for the book. But anyway, so that's what I would do. But when I had that rare steak for the first time, my, hey, I was like, you know what? My bad. I apologize to the steak gods for that one. That rare steak is so delicious. Oh my goodness. Now I don't do red meat too much now because my stomach is kind of rough to eat it a lot, but I do eat it. And when I do, yeah, let me get that rare. Maybe I'll say medium because sometimes they don't see it right. If I say medium, rare, they get it just right. Okay, let's keep on going here. Now, this is going to be Peter Schiff.
What that
on Tucker Show. Now, this is important because it's about the stock market, and this is what I've been saying for a while, that if you use the stock market as a savings account, it'd be the best thing you could do. The stock market is the best savings account you can have because you're going to get a better return on your investment. If you put money into a high interest savings account, it doesn't matter what the rate is. If it's if it's an actual rate that exists in the market, you're not going to get anything near what you would get as far as the return on investment for your stocks over time. It's just not going to happen. And the reason why that is because inflation happens rapidly nowadays, and your stock will go with the inflation. If you get Apple, Google, anything like that, any blue chip stock, it's not going to go down. It's always going to go up. And as inflation goes up, then so will the price of the stock, because they're going to be able to have more money coming in because more money is being spent. More dollars are being spent with this particular company or these companies because there's more dollars that exist. That's kind of how it works. So put your money into a vehicle like this for a savings. You're going to get a better return on your investment. And I'm going to let Peter explain.
What that shows you is that the gain in the stock market is inflation. It's not real value that's been created in the market. We've just destroyed the value of the currency that we use to price things in.
Right.
And so you need more dollars to buy stocks, but you don't need more gold. You could buy stocks with a lot less gold because gold is real money. Government can't just create gold. They can't create inflation and create gold out of thin air like they do Federal Reserve notes, paper dollar. What that shows.
Okay, there we go. So a little bit of a PSA. He's really been into gold. He's had a gold sponsor for a long time. I'm sure he does. And it's been like in his videos for a long time, the gold sponsor. So of course you're going to say gold, you should get that. But gold is the same as anything else. You could get, what's that, GLD or SLV, the stock, for gold or silver or whatever you want. You can also get physical gold and silver, but it'd be the same way ultimately because it can go up and down as well. The value of it, if you got silver for like $50 and then you have market fluctuations, inflation, that will go up. That will go up for sure. All right. But shout out to Peter Schiff for that knowledge. Okay. Now here is where we going to go. Where are we going to go with this? Do I want to show this? Okay. I'm going to show Pam Bondi. Okay. A little bit of Pam Bondi. I've not seen these clips. I just want to see how she did. Now, this is about Epstein. Matter of fact, hold on. Yeah, I want to play this. I'm going to play Nancy Mace first. Now, is she still in government, Nancy Mace? Hold on. Did she quit or what's going on? Nancy Mace. She's still in there. Okay, she's still in there. But is she going to quit? I didn't forget about that whole situation. All right, let's check it out. Epstein files, a little bit of that.
I want to put some names to you that have been in the news connected to Epstein files this week. The US Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, I think you were just alluding to this, has now confirmed in his hearing that he visited Epstein's island in 2012. Now, that's contradicting his previous claims that he cut all ties with him years earlier and was, of course, several years after Epstein's conviction for being a paedophile. And he said, I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. We had lunch on the island. That is true for an hour. Now, that doesn't mean he did anything wrong, but it does mean he was not telling the truth originally about the timeline of his relationship with Epstein. And it does beg the question, why are you taking your family to an island owned by a convicted pedophile?
I would never do that as a mom. I want to protect children with every fiber of my being and would do that. But you would be shocked, Pierce, that some of the names that I have seen that came across the DOJ in emails that the DOJ is protecting. And we're talking about people on both sides of the aisle. We're talking about famous people, rich people, people in power, prime ministers, former presidents, et cetera, media personalities that are named in these files. And that's why I say this is going to go down as the greatest cover-up, one of the greatest cover-ups in American history.
But look, though, see, the thing about it is you're doing exactly what Elon did when he first had a little spat with Trump, when him and Trump broke up for the first time. Oh, Trump's in the files. Okay, but what did he do? Nothing. What did he do? Nothing. Elon's in the files, too. What did he do? I don't see anything. Aside from being, a little bit on the spectrum, he didn't do anything that I would say was illegal. Same thing going on here. So it's like, It's a whole big nothing burger. They got people riled up, ginned up, all for not much of anything. Okay. Now let's check this out. This is going to be Bondi. And this woman, Balint, Balint. Okay, and again, it's about Epstein.
Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once when he was. Weak sauce. Also, I want the record to reflect that, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
He is Jewish. I just want to be clear.
Do you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust? Really?
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
The ranking member knows that.
Can I get like 30 seconds back?
Yeah, I've been.
Balint took
I think
30
the whole.
of mine.
Real catfight. Hey, yeah, that's kind of rough though. Like Paw died in the. Yeah, that's a little rough, but hey, man. Now, Pam, I wouldn't have done the whole anti-Semitism thing. That wouldn't have been my strategy to do that. That I don't know about that one, Pam. That ain't really it. Oh, you're anti-Semite. And she's a J herself. That's not really good. Okay. Now here's Thomas Massey having a little issue with Pam Bondi.
Respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
4,700, and we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get. You're a failed politician.
Gentlemen,
you need to
I
get
want you to
on
watch
these
the
matters.
video.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information. None.
Respond.
I don't know, Pam. I don't know, man. I think we need to have a man right there. I think, yeah. Because she could be right in what she's saying, but it's just, I just don't like that type of school marm. Well, you're a meathead and you're that ain't it, man. Trump derangement syndrome. I don't know. I think she could have done better in those exchanges. Just me. Maybe it's just, I don't know, but I think she can do better. I think she can do better. All right. Now, this is going to be more about this. Let's see this. Of course, this is a picture of Prince Andrew, right?
The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before.
I agree with you.
You twice.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Never
I agree
mentioned
with you. I agree with you. During the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them.
All right, there we go. So that's Ted Lieu. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Pam Bondi did a good job? Pam didn't do a good job. What's your opinion about Pam Bondi's performance during the Epstein files hearing? Y'all let me know. Okay, now let's talk about this whole thing of voter ID being racist. I thought that we already concluded that this was not a racist thing to do. I thought we already went past this. We've already tackled this beast. We've already climbed this mountain of voter identification not being racist. But here we are. Excuse me. Here we are yet again, 2026 now. Many years later, still having the same issue with voter identification somehow being racist.
This is
It is racist to think that people can't get voter ID in this country. That's racist. And guess what? If you can't get identification, then that's on you. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you shouldn't be voting if you can't get identification. It's not hard to do. Not hard at all. If you're able to reach out and get government assistance programs and things of this nature, you're able to get ID as well. And you're able to vote. You're able to do all of that. If you can engage in any kind of way with the government programs, with the city at all, or wherever you live at, if you're able to engage at all with the outside world, then you're able to get identification. It's not racist to say that, but let's watch some of this here.
This is something that we've been seeing across the country. As you know, New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, New Orleans, just a few of the cities who have already had these vaccine mandates in place. Here in Chicago, as you mentioned, as well as Philadelphia, those mandates take place today. And so here in the Windy City, what that looks like is anyone aged 5 years and older must show proof of being fully vaccinated, that vaccination card. Then if you're 16 years and older, you have to have a photo ID to accompany that vaccination card. The city here is saying, look,
now, this is from 2022. I just want to show this because those who say that voter identification is racist had no problem with this. Vaccine passport, this, and vaccine passport, that was fine, right? To go eat food, you had to like show your papers. You had to show some kind of chip to get into that particular setting. But to vote, a very important right that you have, your civic right, your duty, potentially, but your right to vote can be compromised if there's no identification required. You go to the polls, say, hey, I want to vote. Sorry, Ms. Logan, you already done voted. Already voted. That's called fraud. Or you could do the whole ballot harvesting thing, which shouldn't be happening, but let's go watch some of this. So this is Lauren Underwood, House Rep Lauren Underwood. She says that, hold on. She says that voter ID laws will take away women's right to vote. I'm not making this up. Let's watch. And there we go. Let's get that on. And
Republicans are trying to make it harder for you to vote. Let me tell you how. The Save America Act would require your passport or your birth certificate to match your current name in order to be able to vote. If y'all got married and changed your name, your birth certificate would not match your current name. Nearly 69 million women in America have a birth certificate that does not match their current name, and therefore 69 million American women would no longer be eligible to vote.
You can fix that with no problem. It ain't that difficult for you to do. You can most certainly fix that. It's easy. Okay, ain't nobody trying to take right to vote away. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a good idea for some people to have their votes stripped away, to have their rights stripped away. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a good idea, but that's not what's being proposed. So let's just stay on point.
These guys say that the Save America Act is needed to prevent undocumented immigrants from voting, but y'all already know that that is not a thing. What this really is, it's a voter suppression bill to keep lawfully voting American citizens from being able to exercise their foundational right to vote. I'm obviously voting no, but I just want you guys to know that this is serious and it's happening right now ahead of the critical 2026 midterm elections.
Okay, so yeah, that's not really going to be a thing. You'll be able to vote as a woman. We just want everyone to be able to identify themselves. We want everybody to be able to say, hey, here's my ID, boom, let me vote, and then I'm out the door. So here's my question. When you go to vote and your name is not changed on the rolls, do you just present your ID with a different name on it? How's that work? If that's the case, then that would have already been a thing. All right, let's keep going here. Now, I'm going to go back to her for a minute because she said that, oh, it's not really a thing that illegal aliens are voting. Okay.
I say that the Save America Act is needed to prevent undocumented immigrants from voting, but y'all already know that that is not a thing.
A jury just convicted a woman in Massachusetts of voter fraud.
We're talking about a 59-year-old illegal immigrant who's been in the country for years, stole someone else's identity, and then voted in the 2024 presidential election. Take a look at this photo here. This is Lina Maria Arovio Hernandez. In this picture, you can see her, Martha, wearing that I voted sticker that we all get when we go to cast our ballot.
Wearing the sticker. Yeah, I committed fraud. It's okay. I voted. Yay.
These guys.
That's crazy. That is totally crazy. I got another one too. I got another example of what I'm talking about. Okay. 3,000 illegal aliens in Alabama were registered to vote, but they were here illegally. 3,000 illegal aliens in Alabama were registered to vote, but they're here illegally.
3,000 registered voters in Alabama just got booted from the state voter rolls. That's after the Secretary of State, Wes Allen, ordered the removal of all non-citizens who were registered. But how did non-citizens get registered in the first place? WAFF 48.
Now, let me correct myself. A non-citizen may not be an illegal alien, but at last I checked, you had to be a citizen to vote. Last I checked. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe I'm right. If you can vote as a non-citizen, that's news to me.
Nick Ballinger spoke to the Secretary of State to get to the bottom of this story. Nick?
Yeah, Margo, when I asked Secretary Allen how these people got registered to vote in the first place, he couldn't give me a clear answer just yet, saying it was still being investigated. But when he gave me a breakdown of how many there were in each county, the numbers were glaring. This is a list from Secretary of State Wes Allen of how many non-citizens were registered to vote in our counties. The state found 3,251 people. 742 of them were from North Alabama.
We got the information. We cross-checked it against our centralized data file here in the state of Alabama and found those 3,200 individuals.
The information he's talking about are people with alien registration numbers. Those are issued to immigrants who intend to live in this country permanently and have already applied for a green card. However, you're not eligible to vote with just an alien identification number.
So he said it right there. Okay, they're trying to go do things the right way. Okay, they're trying to become legal. That's good. That's fantastic. Okay, now we got to wait until you actually become legal and become a citizen to vote. Okay, so somebody gonna say that's like, paperwork issued is a mistake. Okay, but mistake or no mistake, it shouldn't be there, because if they actually go to try and vote, they probably be able to do it. Although legally, you cannot do that if you're here as a non-citizen. You got to be a citizen in this country to vote. Okay, that's just the way it is. So I wonder how many voter rolls are like that all over the country. How many illegal aliens, non-citizens are in the country voting? Now, I saw a picture. I got a great picture for you guys. Hold on. You guys may have seen this. This is like a heat map of ICE activity compared to the 2024 Democratic election. And, well, pardon me, it's an ICE heat map compared to the 2024 presidential election. So where do you think the hot spots will be for ICE activity when you're talking about the areas of the country? All right, so look. So here we go. You can see at the top, this is ICE activity, current ICE activity at the top. And then at the bottom, that is the 2024 election results. And we see the hot spots. We see the whole Northeast corridor, DC on up to New York and even Maine, a little bit of Maine. But that whole thing right there, this fire truck red, and you can see how blue it is. Right here, that's going to be Chicago, and even over into Michigan and all of that, but mostly in Chicago. Right here, and in Wisconsin too. But then right here, look at those two big dots. That's going to be Minneapolis, aka Somalia. And then over here, Texas, of course, you got the border. Okay, the border's going to be hot right there. But then you got California, Los Angeles, big. It's like San Francisco right here, a little bit of that right there. And then up here, you got, what's that, like Seattle, Washington. or Portland, Oregon, that area right up there. But everybody knew that's pretty much what it would be. Now, here's my question. How many illegal aliens voted in these elections? Now, these are blue places, so it wouldn't be a thing. It may not have changed the election in those places. But it's a little question. How many illegal aliens voted in those places? That's what I want to know. Okay, that's what I want to know. That's my question. Oh, yeah, of course, Phoenix. Phoenix, of course. Yeah, Phoenix. Shout out to Phoenix. Phoenix, like right here in this little dot. Okay, not too much in Vegas. Not too much in Vegas. That's a red place. But once you get right outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, you're going to have all the heat right there in Southern California and the Pacific Northwest. All right. So there we go. Let's keep rocking here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, I got a couple more of these voter videos here. I think I want to play Hakeem Jeffries. That's a scary looking dude, man. Like, if they have full disclosure one day and they say, you know what? Lizard people are real. The reptilians are here. And they live in the... If they come out one day and say, you know what? The reptilians are real. They're living among us. And if you look hard enough, you'll be able to identify them. I'd be like, okay, where do I start? Hakeem Jeffries. There we go. Yeah, that might be a lizard right there. Look at this face. It's scary. Every time I see him, I'm like, bro, are you good? I don't know, man. DC is it could be a very scary place. I always tell you guys the best movie about DC, Devil's Advocate. That's how DC is. But let's watch this machine, this android over here, talk about the voter ID laws.
For example, but requiring basic ID in order to vote is really popular. A Pew poll from a few months ago showed 83% of Americans, including 71% of your fellow Democrats, support requiring an ID to vote. Why are they wrong?
I haven't said that they're wrong. We know that states are the ones who are empowered to conduct elections, and every state should be allowed to decide the best way to proceed to ensure that there's a free and fair election. Here in New York, there are, in fact, voter identification requirements. The question is that what Republicans are trying to do is to engage in clear and blatant voter suppression. They know that if there's a free and fair election in November, they're going to lose. In fact, Republicans have been losing every single election since Donald Trump was sworn in January of last year, including most recently decisively in Texas, and of course, losing all across the country, up and down the ballot.
Okay, just not answering questions, just trying to say that Trump is a loser. He's going to keep on losing. Okay. Y'all said that before Trump got elected in 2016. Y'all said it in 2020, and y'all did the funny stuff for the election. See, in 2020, y'all did the election stuff, and you're trying to prevent us from preventing y'all from doing that same play again, because that's what y'all did. Y'all went right up against the law, maybe a little bit beyond it, to cheat. That's what you did. We're onto the games. We're onto the tricks. You can't gaslight us, Mr. Android Lizard Man. You can't do that anymore. We're onto you. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut off all of that, the fake IDs, the ballot harvesting, and, fraudulent votes, forced signatures. We're going to cut off all of that stuff, bro. And you are mad. That's why you're talking like this, but it's okay. Hey, it's totally fine. We'll be back in power yet again, and it's going to be okay. Now, it's just going to be a throwback. It's going to be a throwback. This is going to be Kamala. Remember Kamala when she was trying to talk about voter ID? And look, I don't want to see Kamala run for anything else ever in my life. I don't want to see nobody like this run ever again, because we all knew she was not ready. Just like we all knew that Joe Biden was about 1,000 years old when he got elected, quote unquote, in 2020. We knew his battery was at about 1%, and there was no charger anywhere to be found. And that charger he got came from 1957, and they don't make him no more. So he was on 0% battery with no charger in 2020. Same thing with Kamala. We know her brand is on 0% battery right now. So there's no reason to actually try to run her or have her anywhere near the office again. But again, this is a throwback clip to her trying to explain that voter ID is racist. Check it out.
Is agreeing to voter ID one of those compromises that you'd support?
I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't. There's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are. Of course, people have to prove who they are, but not in a way that makes it almost impossible for them to prove who they are.
All right, there we go. So the brilliant, the one and only, the magnificent Kamala Harris, ladies and gentlemen, back in the campaign days, trying to explain that, voter ID, you got to prove who you are. And when you prove who you are, sometimes you can't prove who you are. Okay, there we go. All righty. Hey, they thought she could win. Come on, man. Come on. All right, this is an older video as well. I believe it might be older. If it's not older, then he said this before. Scott Wiener, the LGBTQ element of the P, House rep from out there in California, talking about, the LGBT has been massively targeted due to the sex offender registry. I want you guys to hear this if you've not heard it before, so you can understand what we're dealing with in this country. People like this, degenerates like this. This is going to be an actual House rep, I think. Hold on, make sure I'm saying the right thing. Scott Wiener, California. Is he a House rep? Well, he's a senator. He's a senator, a U.S. senator. Okay, let's watch.
We know that the sex offender registry contains a massive array of crimes, including, having sex in a car or in a park. That gets you on the sex offender registry. We also know that LGBTQ people have been massively and disproportionately targeted and subjected to being slammed onto the sex offender registry. That's the whole history of the sex offender registry. So this aspect of the bill is incredibly overbroad and discriminatory.
Okay, now look, Scott Wiener, it's not homophobic or anti-gay that gay people, gay men specifically, let's be clear, it's not any of the above for you guys to be on the registry at a high number. Because let's just for briefly, what a lot of the LGBT men do, they just, what Joe Biden say, is all the time, sex. Like, come on, man. That's what y'all do all the time, every time, wherever you at, you just do stuff. You cannot be outside doing that. You can't be in the car doing that because people can see you out in public. It's middle of the daytime. You got little kids running around, and here you are in the park doing what you're doing. You can't do that, bro. Come on now. Do whatever you do behind closed doors. Also, some of y'all like the little boys. That's where that come from. So don't try to say it's like discriminatory. How about y'all just clean your act up? Clean your act up. That's all I would say. Okay, that's to anybody, whether you LGBT or whatever kind of letter of alphabet you identify as. Clean it up. Don't do stuff like that outside, and don't assault children. Then you'd be just fine. Hey, if y'all could just do those two things, don't be doing stuff outside and leave kids alone, then y'all wouldn't be on there. But you can't, so you won't. Okay, now, Jasmine Crockett is going up against James Tallarico in Texas, a Democrat. And they want him. They want James. They don't want her. The Democrats, that is. Okay, let me just show you a picture. Now, Jasmine Crockett seems to think that she can go up against this guy. She can't. It's not a race thing at all. What it is a competency thing. It's the same thing that was happening with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump told her, look, don't run. You polling at next to nothing compared to, what's the guy's name? Ossoff. You're comparing 20, you're polling 20 points behind John Ossoff. So there's no point in you trying to do anything up against him. And that's why she got mad and stormed off and quit. Now, Jasmine, if anybody was in her corner, they would tell her the same thing. You cannot beat this guy, this Hollywood darling, this guy straight from Central Booking, Central Casting. You cannot go up against this guy and succeed. Democrat or no Democrat, it ain't going to happen. And to be clear, these are two Democrats trying to go for the same position. It's not going to be her. It's going to be him. Now, she's talking about racism here, okay, against her own Democrat, her own Democratic colleague, okay? Let's see this. And there was something that he said. Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying the right thing here. Let me make sure I'm getting the context right. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the context was he was accused by somebody on TikTok. I can't believe he's talking about TikTok as a source, but somebody was accused. He was accused of calling Colin Allred a mediocre black man while praising Jasmine Crockett. Now let's take a look at Colin Allred. Okay, so this guy right here. Okay, light-skinned fella. All right, shout out to him. So this guy right here. And these are all Democrats now. James Talarico, Colin Allred, and Jasmine Crockett, all Democrats. So that's the context. The white guy was saying that this guy is a mediocre black man, allegedly, while praising Jasmine, and Jasmine didn't like that. So let's go back to the video featuring Jasmine. And here we are. This is on The Griot, which is owned by MSNBC or NBC.
So I think it is what so many black people fear, is that, you know, even the most quote unquote well-intentioned white folk sometimes behind closed doors may say things about us and it makes us question. And it doesn't matter your political affiliation. And I think that it is a real fear that a lot of not just black people, but minorities have about how they may get talked about behind closed doors. And so the question, I think, for a lot of voters will be, you know, is this someone who can represent me when, if behind closed doors with a black woman, you felt comfortable enough to say this, what exactly is happening behind closed doors with non-people of color? And I think that that's a real question. All
right. So look, Jasmine, try not to do that. It's not going to help you at all. You're being outspent. He's raising a bunch of money. Like, it's going to be, he's going to succeed. You're not going to win. Anybody could have told you weren't going to win. Just like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Anybody could have told her that she was not going to succeed in the Senate race, which is why she just completely quit politics altogether. So what you could do, Jasmine, what you could do is do what she is doing, trying to go on podcasts, trying to get speaking engagement, stuff like that, or just stay in the house. Stay as a House rep if you can't get elected again, but trying to ascend to a higher height of being a senator, I don't really see it happening for you. And it's okay. You know, everybody can't win all the time, but don't try to bring up race into it. You're just not really that good. Now, speaking about race hustlers, Don Lemon. So he's going to compare himself to civil rights leaders after his whole arrest thing. Hey, this is like an alternate universe, Juicy Smollett. Same kind of deal. All right, you staged something that you shouldn't have done. You do something you shouldn't have done. In Juicy's case, it was a hate hoax. In his case, storming a church. You get in trouble, and now afterward, you're a hero in your own mind and in the minds of some confused people. But let's watch what he says here about him being now a civil rights activist.
Can you imagine the state having control of your freedom simply because they don't like that you are doing your job? So that was very frightening to me. But in my time when I was there, I thought about all the people who'd come before me. I thought about all of the people who fought for civil rights, who fought for gay rights, all of the people who were at Stonewall, Marsha P. Clark. I'm like, yes, those are the people, those are the real heroes. And so what's happening to me, I have, at least in this time that I'm living now, more agency, more resources, more rights, and I would hope, than the people who were fighting for our freedom and our civil rights.
All right, there we go. Now, I've seen that sign quite a bit, that equal sign, the human rights campaign. I've seen that quite a bit in people's front yards. Like if you go through Atlanta, you go to certain neighborhoods, Buckhead, all these places, and you see some of these white areas, rich white areas specifically, and some of there's some black folks sprinkled in there. They got money, but they're gonna have that little sign in the front with other stuff. It's like the bumper of the car was not enough for the slogans, so they put little yard signs out in the yard as well. Okay, that's kind of what's happening with that. Black Lives Matter was a big one. They had a real big banner right there on what was the name? Like Paces Ferry or whatever, a big Black Lives Matter banner right there on the side of the road in front of somebody's house. That's how they do. And they see that little thing out there too. But yeah, shout out to Don, Mr. Civil rights icon. Rather than being Tupac like Juicy was, he is Martin Luther King. All right, so shout out to him. Now, this is going to be about Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. Hey, is it correct to say that the president's actions lowered the crime in Chicago? Now, the correct answer is yes, but what will Brandon Johnson say? Let's check it out.
Has been replicated in other big cities. Is the president right to say that it was his actions in Chicago, trying to bringing federal agents to Chicago, that made Chicago safer?
He is not. I mean, this president continues to, exacerbate, instability across our country. In fact, where ICE and federal agents were present, we actually saw an increase in violence. In other words, the tension and the chaos that federal agents bring to cities in America, it actually is counterproductive. So yes, we saw a 30% reduction in homicides, shooting victims, all down. In fact, the city of Chicago doubled the amount of the national average in terms of violence reduction because in my role as mayor, it's about showing up for working people. We've revamped the Detectives Bureau to bring closure and accountability in the city of Chicago, 71% clearance rate. So we're solving crime. We're building more affordable homes. I've reopened mental health clinics, expanded mental health care, investing in our young people. Over 31,000 young people had summer jobs because we know that policing alone is not going to save our.
Okay, there we go. That is the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Now, Brandon, have you figured out a way to pay the bill from the illegal aliens that you racked up? Because you're talking about real estate, property tax increases, all kind of stuff. Is that going to be the way forward to pay for the illegal alien bill that you racked up during the time of Joe Biden? That's a shame that Joe did that to y'all, didn't offer any kind of help, just said, hey, man, you figure it out, deal with it. What's the bill? $10 billion. You got it. You got money, don't you? That was terrible. But anyway, now a 30% reduction in homicides is nothing to sneeze at, Mr. Brandon Johnson. 30% reduction in homicides. You say there's more violence, but there's 30% fewer homicides. So that's going to be a win. I'll take an uptick in quote unquote violence if it means a 30% reduction in homicides, because ultimately, if somebody get beat up or shot, at least they ain't dead anyway. This is going to be House Rep Gene Wu says non-whites share the same oppressor, and we are the majority now. Now we could take over. Okay, this is going to be, again, House Rep Gene Wu. And where is he from? Gene Wu, he is a Texas House Rep, a Democrat, of course, but he's in Texas. All right, let's go ahead and check him out.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning, because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided. And I talk about this. I always tell people.
Okay, now a few things I wanted to say there. First of all, I don't like the term African American. I just put a video out on my other social media, on my Twitter, my Facebook, Instagram. I put it out there. I put it on TikTok too. But that term is outdated at best. And it's just really inaccurate because I'm not African. Of course, I got African ancestry, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not black. Oh, ain't no black. I ain't going to say that. I mean, come on now. Clearly. But I'm not African because I'm born in the United States. So are my parents and my grandparents and my great-grandparents and my great-great-great. Since 1600s, we've been here in the USA. And I have other ancestry. I got European ancestry, I got Native American, and I got Asian, just like you. I got some of you too. You see the eye. We got the same. Well, not really. You got them crazy Gucci bags. But anyway, my point is that I'm a Black American, so I don't like the whole term African American. And second, furthermore, also, there is no unification of the so-called non-whites. We're not a group at all, because even the blacks are not a group. How are you going to come together as non-whites if among black people there's division? The California blacks, New York blacks, the down south blacks, the upper crust blacks, the lower crust blacks, the crack-spoken blacks, the athlete blacks, the finance guy, the big brains, the scientists. It's different kinds of people. Whites, same thing. You got the people that just came from Russia yesterday. Whites that been here for 300, 400 years. You get the Norwegians in like Michigan, places like that. You got the whites in California, the whites in Florida, the whites in New York, the Italians, the Irish. It's different. We got differences among ourselves as people, even among the whites. So how are you going to come together as non-whites and do anything? I don't understand. Okay, they're Hispanic, so you want Hispanics and black to come together? Okay. Hey, if you can make black and brown unity become a thing in, like, let's say California, then you cooking with gasoline. Start with a pet project like that first, and then work your way up. But to just say we're all gonna come together when we're not together among ourselves, and then what are we gonna do, Gene? What are we gonna do? Are we going to install communism so we could be dead and starving? No thanks. No thanks. And check it out. If this country falls, Gene, then it's over with. Ain't nowhere to run. See, the whole world want to come here when things fall apart, when in their country, where they from. They want to come here. Okay, you got a war-torn place. You got disease, poverty, hunger. Okay, come to America. If we're done, it's over with. It is over with. So I'm less concerned about the race of who wants the country to go forward. I'm just thinking about who has the best ideas. White, black, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, I don't really care. It don't matter. The best ideas are the best ideas. The ideas are not race-based. The ideas are not racist. All right, let's keep on going here. All right, so Miss North Florida, Kaylee Bush, was decrowned because she refused to sign a contract that had updated transgender policies. Okay, she saw something in there. It's like, wait a minute, I don't like that. I'm not trying to compete against a man. And for that, she was decrowned. Her crown was taken away from her. Okay, let's watch this. Hey, TMZ, don't do it to yourself. Okay, just let me live, TMZ. TMZ, let me live. Matter of fact, hold on, give me a second. I might want to find a different video. If not, I'll just play that and roll the dice. Okay, Kaylee Bush, that's her name. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, that's the same video everybody playing. That's fine. All right, let's let it rock. And again, TMZ, don't do it to me.
You were looking to compete for Miss America, but then they took your Florida crown off you because you made statements about sort of transgender?
Yes, that is exactly right. I was asked to sign a contract that was different than the first one that I had agreed to because they had changed it 4 weeks after I rightly won. And so I didn't lose my crown because I broke a rule. I lost the crown because I was unwilling to rewrite the truth.
Exactly. There we go. Now, I'm going to just pause for a minute because TMZ let it do copyrights. Let's keep on going.
And were you super upset, obviously, when you lost your crown and then Miss Cheerleaders America reached out to you and said, hey, we will honor you?
Yes, it was heartbreaking. It was confusing. It was disappointing because Miss America has been honoring women for over 100 years, and now they can't even define what a woman is. And heartbroken. It was a lot of soul searching, but God uses all things for good, and here I am.
Well, what were the circumstances that you spoke out about this?
So by circumstances, do you mean like?
So at what point did you say that men cannot be women?
Well, immediately as soon as we were given the contract, first thing, my mom and we started raising concern about it and got on a conference call immediately with one of the directors for the Miss America organization, and weeks and weeks and weeks of pleading with them, sending videos, sending letters, emails, demand letters through Liberty Counsel because they picked up my case, and they just no, and they doubled down and basically just got to the point where
But
they
what
said,
was the letter?
All right, I gotta pause again because copyright again. This is on TMZ. This is going to be, what's her name? Her name is Kaylee. For now, it's just Kaylee. Let's keep on going.
What did you say originally? What precipitated you speaking out?
Declining to sign the contract. Yeah, declining to sign the contract.
Okay.
Because I couldn't agree that a little boy could mutilate his body and become a woman.
Why was that in the contract?
Kaylee Bush is her name. Kaylee Bush.
I don't know. That's something we got to ask the Miss America organization.
Have you had any celebrity support?
We've had a little bit. Yes, we have.
From who?
Riley Gaines. We've had Lee Allen Baker, the famous Miss Liz Doyle, and a few others. But the support has been crazy, encouraging, and it's just been amazing.
And last thing, how do you feel about the Miss America pageant and just organization in general now?
That's a tough question. I used to look up to Miss America because they empowered women, but now it's really disappointing to see that they've abandoned such a common sense truth, and that is that a man is a man and that a woman is a woman. And disappointed in the Miss America organization, but I'm really hoping that they get back on track and return to truth and start honoring God in their pageants like they used to.
There we go. So shout out to Kaylee Bush for telling the truth. And again, all she did was not sign a new contract in which there was some new transgender stuff in there. Like a man could be a woman, a boy could be a girl, stuff like that. That's not true. That we all know not to be true. Because she refused, they said, okay, now we're taking crown away. That's what's going on. All right. So shout out to her for being brave enough to go out there and say, hey, you know what? We're not going to do this. We are not going to do this at all. All right. But I got one more, just a quick automation video. Kind of, sort of. What I'm going to do first is just show you the piles of trash a little bit in New York. And if you're living in New York, has the piles of trash improved? Have the piles of trash improved in New York? Let me know.
But I see.
Okay, you can see how tall they are. Okay, they got clear bags rather than the black plastic. Yuck, yuck, yuck. All in front of the spot, like a video game, Division. That looks just like Division, where they got trash everywhere, piled like it's a barrier. Okay, now look. This is a robot that can clean bathrooms. Have you guys seen this? Maybe one day they'll have a robot that can actually take up the trash from the ground. How about that? No sound, but you can see, hey, that thing moving and grooving. Yeah, and it's just doing its thing, getting into the little crevices, the whole shebang. Now, my question would be when it has, because I've cleaned bathrooms before, and this bathroom already looks kind of clean. I've cleaned a bathroom that was not as clean as this, right? This is kind of like you're kind of just polishing the bathroom. I've seen the bathroom not as clean as this. Now, what I want to see is like if you got some debris. I'll just say debris. If you have some debris on the ground, then will it be able to get it up? That's what I want to know. Because I've cleaned some debris in my day. It ain't always just so sparkling and nice. You can just go in there and just kind of like wave a brush. But it's just beginning. But one day, it could do all of that, in my humble opinion. Just one day, it could do that. Somebody had toilet water on the floor. Yeah, it's not going to be all the way right. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not quite sure I would want that. You know, if I see that machine cleaning, sink the toilet, the bacteria, you're going to change the little heads on the, okay, you're going to do that, but still on the actual arm of the machine is going to be the bacteria from inside the toilet. You can put it right in the sink. So I don't know. Automatic bot cleaner, apparently. Yeah, the bot, I don't know, man. There's so much concerned about AI. I'm not really concerned. AI and robots, I'm not really concerned. It's not there yet. And so they could just do everything that we do. And so they could create a humanoid, like a real human, like the gray alien or whatever. And so you could do that. I'm not really going to be surprised, or I'm not really going to be like threatened at all by anything. All right, let's keep going. We got super chats on deck. Then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 706. There it is. 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. I got super chats on deck. I'll get these and then I'll get to the calls. Thank you to Dolores for your super chat. Thank you to Michael Crislow, who says RIP James Vanderbeek of Dawson's Creek. Yep, RIP him. RP to him. He had colorectal cancer for 2 years. He was battling that, and then he passed. So RIP to James Vanderbeek of Dawson's Creek. Thank you to Apple Bucker, All Puff Daddy, who says, ABL, what's your opinion on Winter Olympic athletes commenting negatively on USA? Should they be removed from their respective teams or free speech? Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about them being removed, but I'm not really a fan. I've not been watching any of that. No Winter Olympics, none of that type of stuff. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm good on that. So, yeah, that's pretty much that on that. Thank you to Carlos for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Iron Spider, who says, I don't have a problem with Bunny's song, but my problem is the visual messaging of his performance, such as the We Are All Americans and One America, a.k.a. Open Borders, which we are not. Thank you to Carlos, who says, what do you think about Derek Carr coming to the Jets with his connection to Bill Musgrave? Thank you, Anthony. I don't know who Bill Musgrave is, so I have no clue. Sorry, I can't answer that question for you. Thank you to Dolores, who says, thank you. Thank you for your super chat. I most certainly appreciate you. All righty. Let's get to some calls. Again, the number to call, 706-406-3287, 706-406-3287. And let me go ahead and turn that on, and we are rocking and rolling. Yeah, but I have no idea who, I've heard that name, Bill Musgrave, but I don't know who that is really. You know, I have no idea. 859, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
All right. A combination of Hami LA and Anton LaVey. How's it going? What's going on, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, not much. Just working and smoking, usually as usual. Listen to the podcast. And I've been looking at some stuff recently, and it's kind of crazy. This whole the Bethesda emails and the Jeffrey emails have a very similar outcome, but it's kind of sad that the Bethesda emails does not get as much coverage compared to the Epstein emails, and I think that's kind of weird.
Well, you know, the whole thing with Epstein is just the name recognition is something that they want to use to try and attack conservatives. So if you could be linked to the Epstein files and you're conservative, then that's like a mark against you. That's all that it is.
It's everybody on that list. I mean, it's weird that I'm looking through it and it literally says the Island Boys. It mentions them, and it's weird because it sounds like science fiction stuff, you know?
Oh, of course.
See, back in 2016, and, you know, I've been around for a long time as, you know, and listening, watching, supported Trump in 2016 because I had an irking bad feeling about the Bethesda emails, and it's like something's not sitting right with me because there's more questions than answers. And it's like weird as heck because we ask these questions, and why is somebody like John Bethesda not behind bars for his bad actions?
That's a good question.
It's just too much power. It's ridiculous. And then you have people who say if we arrest everybody on the Epstein list, like everything will, like the whole system will collapse. It's crazy. I've heard that from a government official. I don't remember what it was Pam Bondi or something like that. It was somebody. And it's crazy. And I was looking through these things. Why is the First Lady taking pictures with Epstein and kissing Epstein? Melania.
She was kissing Epstein?
I went through the emails. There's like so many pictures of the First Lady and Epstein.
But I asked you a question.
Yeah. I looked through it. There's pictures.
So were they kissing, yes or no?
Yeah. Obvious kissing, like a little side kiss. And there's like so many pictures of there's so many pictures. I looked through the emails. I hate to tell you this, but this reality is ever since 1963, every president has been compromised. and blackmailed. Sad reality. Thank you very much for taking my phone call. See you guys later.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. You got the phone real quick. So it's AI generated. The kiss picture. It's not real. You can't believe everything we see, bro. You know, yeah, that got debunked. All right. Now, you know, bro, you know that if that was a real story, you would see that all over the place. That'd be really big news. If Epstein was getting the kiss from Melania, you know that would be all over the place. That was AI, bro. But there's quite a bit in the Epstein files that would make you kind of like question reality. But there are some things out there that is just fake. People believe it. Let's look at you on line 734.
Hey, doing tonight?
I can't hear you. What you say?
So I said, hey, how you doing tonight? It's Taisha from Michigan.
Oh, it's all good. What's going on?
I'm good. So I just wanted to call and tell this really quick story. So me and my sister, like, we're on whole opposite ends of the whole illegal immigration. She has an argument of this is stolen land. And another crazy argument is, hey, all these people is coming over here. They're not doing anything. They're not messing with people. They just need to let people do them. I'm quoting her. So I just couldn't believe like that argument because it was so crazy. So let's fast forward to 3 weeks later. She has a restaurant in a nonprofit building. So it was some new tenants that came in and they were from California. So she was saying how they were like blasting music and she's like, you know, we don't do that here. You can't come here and start doing that. And I said, hold on. She came from California to a new place, Michigan, and she's not assimilating to the culture around her. Mm-hmm. I say, don't that sound like the problem that we're having now? She stopped in her tracks. I said, so you can understand a problem when it relates to you, but when it's outside of yourself, everyone else is crazy and just let people do them. No, a big problem is a lot of illegal immigrants is coming over here not assimilating to the culture. So now that it was just so funny when I stopped her in her tracks and she really thought about it. You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to like call and tell that story because it was just so ironic how sometimes you just have to be patient with people, but don't forget to call them out on their BS.
I agree with you 100%. Absolutely.
So yeah, that was just my little quick story for tonight. So y'all, hey Chad, y'all have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Great call. Yeah. They're not assimilating, but you can't be over here just doing whatever you want to do. That's not how it works. It's illegal immigration for a reason. It's illegal. You know, when one of us as Americans do something wrong, hey, we're held accountable. When of them do something wrong and they're held accountable, then it's a protest. Nah. If you're doing something wrong, you're going to be held accountable just like everybody else. Ain't no special treatment. That's not how that's supposed to work at all. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But the problem is the illegal. But the problem is the lack of assimilation. Coming over here, doing whatever you want. And with the Californians especially, they're like the chief offenders. And shout out to you guys if you're living in California. But the Californians that I've seen in my neck of the woods and all over the country, that's the chief offenders. Voting the same way you voted before you left, voting for the left. The same things that ruined your state, you're going to just bring with you. You want the ultimate creature comforts and way of living, but with that comes a negative impact on those who don't live quite the same way you do, which is what's happening in a place like California. All over the country in a lot of these liberal hotspots, that's what's going on. It's not a sustainable model. Same thing happened with Rome. All these slaves all over the place. How are you going to have a regular person working? How is that really going to be a thing? It's going to eventually just fall. So yeah, hopefully the system doesn't fall and collapse with all of us. Hopefully we could just stop it from falling and save it. Because again, if we fall, it is a wrap. It is over with. I'm going to read some comments so I get some more calls here. Again, the number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Yeah, the criminal aliens is going to be the first and foremost priority, of course. Criminal aliens, those who are actively committing crime. Being here illegally is a crime, yes, but when you are here illegally and you are committing crime on top of that, you're going to be the primary focus. 608, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Gustavo Meneses.
Hello? Say one more time.
This is Gustavo Meneses from Wisconsin.
All right, what's going on?
I'm calling in because I want to oppose and say that I'm against massive deportation.
All right, go for it. Why are you against mass deportation?
Because it's just a logistical issue that has ethical consequences.
Okay, what's the issue? What are the consequences?
It's sorry, I get nervous.
It's all good.
President Trump, he's copying Eisenhower, and Eisenhower deported 1 million men, mostly men, adult males. Whereas Obama, he deported within his 2 terms 3 million men, women, and children. But he gave the option for children to stay. And Trump, within his first term, President Trump, within his first term, deported 1.5 million people. And men, women, and children didn't give them the chance to stay.
Whoa, wait. Hold on. Now, for the children, what the policy is now is if, like, for example, the prime example is the guy that was in Minneapolis, the guy that they were trying to get, and he ran away and left the boy by himself. And then there was this whole thing like, oh, they deported the boy. What actually happened is their policy. When someone has a child with them, they're a parent, they have a child, and the parent will be deported, they're given an opportunity to leave the child with somebody in America who could take care of them, or leave with the child. But go ahead.
And I think that there are like protocols, and I'm sure that they're trained. I think CBP and ICE, do a difficult job. And they don't only do deportations, they do customs enforcement. So I think that they still have a role to do even without massive deportation. I think it's important for people to be specific and say, no massive deportation because of that logistical and ethical issue. And, they have them in cages and they have to wait for a flight. Women, they have special needs, children, and President Trump is defaming them, saying all these things against Mexicans. Mexicans, they're mostly, a lot of them are Native American, Latino people. The Native American people were mistreated, and killed and all these terrible things. And so there's like an energy that's kind of already against them. And so when they defame them and say bad things about them, just is like the energy is getting reawakened, and I think that's what is going on, and why a lot of these ICE agents are getting all crazy. We didn't hear about it under Obama because I think President Trump he defamed.
Okay, so I gotta stop you. So how did Trump defame people? What did he say? What did he do?
He's just loose with his words.
But wait a minute. But what did he actually say? Because you say something like defamation, that's a very specific thing. So you can't just say he's loose with his words and he's offensive. You got to say, did he say something specific for it to be defamation? So what did he say?
He said something like they're bringing rapists, and they're all criminals. He talks about the statistics, and he says they're all criminals when they're not all criminals. They're hardworking, religious families, but people with conservative values, like many of us.
Well, there are some criminals in the bunch, don't you agree?
Yes.
So I think that people can take what he said and make it literal and apply to everyone, or you could just take what he said and apply it to those who are doing the wrong thing. And if you believe that they're all just criminals and they are beyond redemption, then he wouldn't be offering a self-deportation where they're given $2,600 in cash to go do whatever they want with, spend however they want. And on top of that, a free plane ticket to wherever they want to go. That does not sound like what someone would do who thinks that you are a criminal. Do you agree?
That's a good alternative. I think it's good to offer alternatives.
That's right. So, I mean, my thing is, if you're able to be given that and you can self-deport, you can, again, get a ticket to wherever you want, $2,600 in cash, and you're able to come back if you do it legally. You're not banned from the country. I think that's fair. I think it's ethical. I think it's cool. I think it's good. But when people refuse to take that deal and you got to go get them and they got a criminal record, I mean, that's on them. Even if you're not here with a criminal record, but you're here illegally and you don't self-deport, I don't know what to say, because if it was a regular American citizen committing some kind of crime, then we'd be punished. If we go to any other country in the world illegally, we'll be punished. So I don't see why they would get special treatment.
May I add something?
Okay.
I see the good and the bad. And President Trump, he did, I think, something good in California where he exempted farmers. He let them stay because they're so, and I studied horticulture, so I learned how much we rely on California. And so I think he did a good thing by letting farmers stay, illegal or undocumented farmers stay and pay taxes. And it doesn't seem, though, that he did that in Minnesota, because in Minnesota, he said on his Twitter or X account that he deported 12,000. So, I think because maybe they're out of season or something, I don't know, he didn't think of that. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the number in Minnesota is like that because you have people that flock to Minnesota due to the ability to commit crime. A lot of fraud happens in Minnesota. There were some guys that came from, I believe, Pennsylvania in Minnesota committing fraud because it's a hotbed of that. So I think that's why there may have been a big push to focus on that particular area for a while to get all the illegals who were over there committing crime out of the area.
Well, I'm still against massive deportation. No massive deportation.
All right, well, thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Peace. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, hey, you're here illegally. You got to go. You got to go. And there's visas for all kind of programs. There's visas for the farmers and everything. It's like, yo, just do stuff right. Just do stuff right. Follow the law and you be good. When you want to commit crime and do things illegally and cut corners and all kind of stuff, then, I mean, what can be said? You bringing that upon yourself. And I have no sympathy for those who do things that they know are illegal. You go out there and commit a crime and you get caught and you get punished, that's on you. Take that on the chin. Take that right square on the chin. That's what you should do. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And again, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all as well. Let's go. 501, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on? It's Robert.
All right, what's going on?
Nothing much. I think, like your last caller, I don't know. I don't know what's up with all these Democrats and all this stuff about nobody's illegal and all this other stuff, and they should all stay here. It's crazy because you see people doing like the Dunlin and on the street, interviews or whatnot, and you ask these people, okay, so how many are you willing to take in your house? They're like, oh well, I can't take any right now. So okay, when can we send them? Oh, you can't send them to my house. So like, who's supposed to take them?
Exactly, that's the thing, because it's always somebody else that got to do it. It's always someone else that is responsible. But it's like, okay, if everybody else is responsible, and you don't want to do it, how you going to tell them that they got to do it? I don't really get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they are illegal, and they did commit a crime when they came over that border without proper paperwork. Regardless of how people feel, oh, it's a misdemeanor. Okay, I would challenge anybody on here, if you want to go and test that whole misdemeanor thing out, go speed. I'm not saying do like 120 or something like that. Go 25, 30 miles over your jurisdiction speed limit. Get a ticket. Don't pay for that ticket and see what happens to you in a couple months.
Exactly. Simple. But see, people don't have interactions with the law like that, or with any kind of, so they don't really understand how any of this works. They have no clue.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I think there are some good people that, are kind of caught up in all this stuff. Like I said, I'm in a master's program, and there's a girl, she's from the Ukraine, and she's in the master's program. But I mean, she's on a school visa or whatnot. But after this master's program, she's trying to figure out what she's gonna do when she graduates, because she's not gonna be able to stay here on that student visa any longer. So I mean, she's worried about that, and I guess she's also worried about going back to her country with all of the different warring and all that other stuff going on. But I mean, again, I don't know if she's really a good I don't think she's a bad person, but I mean, if she could find a way to do it legally, I mean, I have no problem with that. If people do it legally and properly, I have no problem with people staying, in America. Because again, like I said, I think last week when I was in the military, and one of the places where I was stationed at, there was two guys who were from Vietnam who they joined, and then they got naturalized because they've been in the military for so long. I mean, that's they actually served the country. One of the guys right now is still in, and he's an officer in the military. So he's been doing this thing for a while.
Right on, man.
Yeah. Oh, and that Peter Schiff guy. That guy, I wouldn't trust a word he said, because I was watching him on PBD this morning, and he was saying a lot of just crazy stuff. And it wasn't like one of the shows where they're just talking about like random subjects, because when they do a show on Wednesdays, it's usually about finance and finance and business type stuff.
Right on.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, yeah.
All right, shout out to the callers. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Shout out to the callers. Hey, I ain't trying to be rude on the phone, but you got to project your voice. But everybody can't do that. I think I'm just unique in that way. Like, as far as my voice, I'm real loud. I'm super loud when I need to be. I get told to use the inside voice sometimes. I can't. Hey, I was whispering to somebody and everybody can still hear me. I'm like, hey, so what we got to do? Everybody's like, are you whispering? We can still hear you. Like, what are you doing? You could just talk regular and she can still hear you. Anyway, let's go. 408, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, this is Jean. My name is Jean. I'm in San Jose, California. And can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Yeah, okay. Great. I'm just wondering, there's the Democrats are so concerned about Epstein files, and they really just want to get Trump. That's the main thing. But why aren't they concerned about the the trafficking of minors that is going on, and our Homeland Security is finding all these minors that have been pressed into forced labor and prostitution and things. So that's something they can fix now, whereas you can't fix what happened. You can't undo what Epstein did, but you can get justice for it. But why don't they address it? I never hear them talking about the trafficking of minors in this. It has happened. A lot of it from the illegal immigration, because that's how they got the minors in to the country. That's my comment on it, anyway.
Right. I think that they don't want to actually talk about that because it's more important to try to use something as a political weapon against their opponent.
Yeah. It's like they don't want to bother to deal with something that they can fix now. It's kind of funny. They'll wait till they can blame it on Trump, I guess, or blame it on the Republicans. That's what they'll have to, then they'll bring it up. But anyway, I really appreciate your program, your podcast, and my boyfriend used to watch them with me, and that he passed away a year ago. But it's really great to have all the conservative podcasters like you, and Nellie Miranda. I don't know if you know her, but people like that. I really appreciate it. So thank you, and keep going, doing the good work.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right, shout out to her. Nice call, nice lady. All right, let's keep going here. Let's go to 206. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
Yes. Hello. Good evening, Anthony. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you well.
Oh, great. Hello, everybody on the live chat as well. This is about the Bad Bunny show again. The only thing I want to say and recommend for everybody listening and you as well, check out the London opening Olympics 2012, the 2012 London opening Olympics. And then compare that to the excuse me, and then compare that to the Bad Bunny show, which was impressive. But if you watch that Olympics and then watch the Bad Bunny show, the choreography, the production, everything is this. It's exactly the same, basically. I mean, it's So I did enjoy the show. I didn't really watch the Turning Point show very much, so I have to watch that too. But yeah, I just think it's funny. It's like it's a good show, but if you don't like colonialism, then you copy the colonialists, as far as I can see.
Of course, that's kind of how that goes. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. They copy, emulate the exact thing they claim to be oppressed by.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all I wanted to say, and I'm enjoying the show.
Well, thank you for your call.
It's a good one. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's look at you online. 617.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
Two things real quick. Hey, so you still believe that the person that posted the video about the election fraud that followed with the video of Obama, Michelle Obama as a monkey, you think was an intern that did it or low-level staffer?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so what time the video was placed?
Say that one more time.
What time the video was posted?
I don't know.
It was posted at 11:17 at night. So you're going to tell me an intern or low-level staffer is going to post a video at that time of the night most likely he's going to be sleeping or is getting ready for the next day, right?
Okay, let me inform you of something. Let's talk about a few things. First of all, was that Eastern time or where was that at?
Well, it's in Washington, D.C.
So was the video posted from D.C.?
Yeah, from D.C.
Huh?
From D.C., yeah, Washington, D.C.
How you know that?
Well, I don't think somebody that is out of state is going to have the president information to log in his account. That would be kind of risky, right? I don't think somebody. It has to be somebody inside the White House.
That's not how that works.
Work with him, probably not close to him, but somebody that work like a staffer. So that's just. Let's look at the patterns of Trump.
Okay,
Trump do most of. Okay, let's look at the pattern though. Let's look at the pattern of Trump. Trump do most of his posting after 11 o'clock. That's what he does. He's posting 11, 12, 1, 2 in the morning. That's what he does. His posting, his ranting posting.
Where you getting that from? That's just your observation?
Well, evidence. I'm in True Social. So every time that he posts something, come out on my phone. And
Okay.
it's 11, 12 at the night. It's not in the evening. He most likely posts at night. That's the time that most likely posts. So if this video was posted at 11 o'clock and a low-level staffer was up to post this video, that doesn't kind of make that much of a sense.
Okay, a few things here though. First of all, you don't know who posted it or where they were at when they posted it. You're assuming that it's somebody in the White House, but you have no idea whether they did that or not.
Okay.
And let me finish. Even if it was somebody like in the White House at 11 o'clock, it could have already been scheduled because a lot of my videos I scheduled to post. So I could upload something right now and schedule it to post at 11 at night the next day. So
Okay,
you have oh wait, I'm not done. So you have no idea who posted it, where they posted it from, what time zone they were in. They could be on the West Coast, it could be 8 p.m. You have no idea, and they could have been scheduled. So you're just making a bunch of assumptions that may or may not be true. But go ahead.
Okay, the second position. Okay, no staffer will post a video on the president's account without consulting with the senior staff or the chief of staff. Senior staff and chief of staff were not involved in this issue. So the president doesn't even know who posted the video. He doesn't say that. He was asked in Air Force One. He doesn't know. You're gonna believe. Excuse me. Let's tackle it this way. Forget about YouTube. I know you're trying to make money on YouTube. Let's say we're having coffee at a restaurant or whatever. Let's say we're having this conversation. You really want to believe that no one knows who posted this video? Whatever it is, the president of the United States on his account, without having because they have the what they call the protocols. Everything has to be going to the chief of staff, and no one knows who posted this video, or they keep it hush hush. So let's say somebody could post like some porn video in his account. Nobody's gonna know.
Okay, so what's your question? Are you asking me? Do I
My
know?
My question is: this is a lie. It's obviously a lie.
No. Okay, so
He
you're wait.
posted
No.
himself.
Stop. You're saying a bunch of different things, but you're not really saying anything. I'm gonna give you a little assistance. You're trying to say that nobody knows who posted it. I never said that. Who said that?
President Trump said that because they're asking like, who posted the video? He said, I don't know, maybe somebody was a staff. I don't know, somebody posted.
Okay.
So you, the president,
so that's different. So excuse me. Excuse me. No. Excuse me.
Yeah, remember.
No. Excuse me. Excuse me. You can't talk while I'm talking because can nobody hear you? Look, I'm gonna just. You could just talk, and nobody can hear you, so it don't matter. I'm gonna talk right now while you're talking. Okay. Now, Trump can say he doesn't know who did it, but that doesn't mean that nobody knows. That's not what you said. You said that, don't nobody know? Trump says he doesn't know, but that does not mean that nobody knows. Let me tell you how this whole thing works with content creation, because it's not just a guy on his phone posting up videos. You can have a whole staff behind you. You can have editors and everything else behind you posting things that you don't see right when it happens. What Trump said was he saw the beginning of the video and sent it to the people and said, okay, post that. Now, what they got to do is take the video from wherever the source was and get that from the source to put it on True Social. Now, you could do that in a few different ways. I have apps that I use that download videos from Twitter, but these apps can be kind of dangerous or whatever. So what sometimes they do is screen record. So he sees a video on Twitter. He says, hey, post that. They screen recorded to capture it, but what they do is make a mistake by allowing another video to randomly play and autoplay and scroll up. Now, he was careless, whoever the person was, to not cut off that last piece of the screen recording. He just went ahead and uploaded it to save time. It was a mistake. It happens. It's very simple.
Okay, so you're talking about the president of the United States. You're not talking about the mayor or a rural town in Mississippi. You're talking about the president of the United States, that everything that is done in the White House that goes out has to be looked at by the chief of staff. You understand? So that means somebody posting through social, the person doesn't just post. Somebody from the senior has to be there, make sure that it goes out. Letters, memos, everything that is done in the White House, schedule, every little thing is looked at by the seniors. No, it's not like, okay, let's have Nicholas do that. Yeah, Nicholas could do it. You take care of it. No. That's the protocol of the White House, because you want to make sure that everything that goes out is checked before it goes out. It's revised before it goes out.
But you didn't. But
So
wait, because you can't just talk now. But wait, you can't just talk now. But wait, you can't just talk now. The thing about it, I just said that Trump saw the video before he sent it to the people. So he looked at it. He approved the video, but it was a mistake made in the process of getting the video downloaded and uploaded. That's the point.
So
that
you didn't
can
see
happen.
the other video come up? You didn't see it? All right.
You're not. But see, you just I don't know what the education is under Panama, whatever they gave you, but it's not. You're not a very educated person, and you say things that just come from a place of ignorance. You don't understand the way this whole thing works. I've been a video editor for 20 years. This is what I know. This is what I do. This is what I know. You don't know. You have a business that's not into tech. I can see your business right here on the caller ID. It's not in the tech, so you just don't know. You remind me of my dad calling me, talking about my computer is not plugged in. How do I fix it? That's you right now. You're kind of a Fred Flintstone. You kind of stuck in the Stone Age. You don't understand the way things work. And when you're being told it, you don't want to believe it because you got this hard off President Trump. But go ahead.
I don't know how President Trump. It makes sense. You the president of a company, and let's say.
I mean, you kind of repeating yourself. So say something else so I can get to the next caller.
You want to listen?
You're repeating yourself. So say something else.
I'm not repeating myself.
All right, go ahead.
You the president of a company, and a senior low-level staffer make a mistake at this level against someone. Your reputation is on the line. You're not going to tell me you're not going to apologize?
Apologize for what?
So your company, the video got out of your company. That let's say somebody that is important. Let's say the banker. Let's say another banker that you do business with. You're not going to tell me, you as the head of the company, you're not going to apologize.
Now we're not going to apologize because I didn't do anything.
Okay, so
the apology would be is if you no. Let me tell you when you should apologize. No. Quiet. Let me tell you when you should apologize. You should apologize in the case of him posting, like if Trump said, okay, post a meme, but look, you're talking, but can't anybody hear you? Okay, so just shut up for a second. Now look, if Trump said post that meme video, and then that went up, and then there was a backlash or whatever, then you apologize because you intended to have that video go up. But when you say post this, and then the piece of something else gets posted, that's not room for apology.
But is he not responsible everything that goes out of the White House? One question: Is he not responsible everything that goes out of the White House as the president of the United States? Yes or no?
You can say yes, sure.
Okay, is the president? I mean, the right thing for him to do, the honorable thing for him to do, was to apologize to the Obamas and apologize to everyone that it was involved in that video. He did not apologize because he feels that apologizing, his support is making him look weak. If he apologizes, his supporters think that he's weak. Regardless, that was low-level stuff that I don't believe for a minute.
Now, he would look weak. Let me tell you something else. Now, I'm going to talk. You can't overtalk me because you don't got that much time. I'm gonna just say this because you don't got all night. Now, look, it'll make him look weak. Yes, it would make him look weak. But beyond that, if he apologizes for that, then it'd be a call to apologize for everything. Okay, you apologize for that. Well, you put out something in your newsletter that I didn't really like. You said the wrong pronouns. It'll always be something that they want to nitpick at President Trump for. But Joe Biden can say whatever he wants. He can say the N-word. He can say poor kids want his white kids. No call for an apology. You see, it's different types of things. I'm not going to play into your game of treating me differently or hold me to a different standard you hold everybody else to. And the only reason why it's even a problem is because guys like you and the mainstream media and the politicians got a problem with President Trump. But that's enough for you. Have a good night. Thank you for the call. All right. That'll be a wrap for that. Let's go to 504 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. Shout out to you in chat. And I have been of enjoying everything it's been you've been showing. And yeah, I want to say that this administration I am very proud of, because a lot of stuff has come out that other administrations haven't. And something that I was telling about like last time about these names of these other billionaires that were in that list, they're talking about them now because they're starting to unredact them, and that's good. And FBI records show that Trump reported Epstein in the when he was figuring out that things were going on, and it's good that he took a stand against him in spite of what all the liberal media says.
Oh, absolutely. Right on. I mean, and that is a thing that has been known for a while, but the media want to craft a narrative that fits whatever narrative they want to push.
Yeah, and I was talking to some people, and I was telling them all the facts. Like, it's listed down. Like, he said everyone in New York knew that this guy was a creep, and that he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, and he said one time he saw, Epstein with some, like, young girls, and he thought he was creepy, and yeah, because he knew what was going on. And Epstein in his interviews did not like Trump at all, so definitely they knew each other, but then when he figured out something was going on, he distanced himself, because anybody can be friends with somebody, then they figure out there's something not right about him. So I think he did the proper actions, and certainly I think that the Democrat side, not every single one of them, because some of them are trying to expose the Epstein thing, but most of that elitist group, they want to, as I said, preserve slavery and protect people that are doing stuff like that, and they didn't want Trump in there because he's the one that was going to expose what they're going to do in the first place. And you can really see how wicked and twisted they are, because it's really the pot calling the kettle black, because they're the ones that were protecting these people for a long time, in my opinion.
Well, absolutely. 100% correct. And it just totally ignored that. They totally put it under the rug. I like it's not really there. I like it never happened, because they have a particular agenda, and they're going to follow through on that agenda at all costs.
Right. And another part of the agenda that I was seeing, one of my friends was telling me at the Olympics that they're watching. At first, we thought the Winter Olympics had nothing weird in it, but there's a pentagram that was shown in one of the opening scenes, and it's like they have to put this weird occultic imagery in these Olympics and these different shows like that, because it has nothing to do with anything with the Olympics. It's from Greek mythology. But yeah, they just, I feel, put a lot of satanic occultic propaganda in it, because they're showing evil signs of things. That's what they're doing. And yeah, I just think it's completely unnecessary that they have to involve that stuff in games.
Oh yeah, but of course you got a bunch of eyes on the actual game, so they want to show their side of things. They want to try to get into the brains of people, because they got a massive captive audience.
Yeah, and I've been talking about this across YouTube with different people, is that the television is telling a vision, so to speak, and a lot of people, because our country, we have a republic, where we can vote people in or out, but they want to try to hijack it by influencing the media people watch to dumb them down and to put subliminal messages into them to try to sway a vote this way or that way. That's why I feel to be diligent about what they're even, consuming on the media, because a lot of it is like putting like subliminal messages in their head. But this chat and other parts, of the internet too, are waking up about it. But a lot of people, most people, don't even think it's important to know about these things, but it is important, because that's how you know that they've been like brainwashed, because they don't even want to see the signs of what is going on.
Oh, of course. They've been conditioned to believe one thing, to think one way, and when presented with a different way of thinking, a different way of being able to interpret what they're looking at, it's hard for them to do it, because they've been conditioned to think one way and do things one way all their life.
Right, and it's like some people were conditioned from the liberal side to, have plastic whistles from China. Like they think that's actually safe to use, but they've been conditioned to think that's safe, but it's not.
Exactly, and that's really crazy. But they think like that. But hey, that's like I said, that's the conditioning.
Right. And yesterday, I was on my stream when when Nancy Guthrie was they're locating her, and they're finding out that had to do with the cartels. So it was very close to the border, and it seems like a wild way that they're able to figure out what was going on with that.
Right.
Yeah. I remember Tyler, you're talking about the drones the cartels use. Yeah, their plans are going to be foiled for what they're doing, but yeah, they're starting to get into some more technical gadgets. It seems.
Yeah, they could try to do stuff like that, but I think the U.S. military is a little bit more advanced, and there's a military base right there, Fort Bliss. So I don't think that the cartels can do anything with that military base right there, or the USA in general.
No, exactly. It's kind of like those pirates where you had pirates in the past where they had those big ships and they're all fancy looking, but now you have the pirates that have these little Timu plastic boats that they have, and they get blown up. And these people are doing the same thing. They're having their Timu drones, but it's nothing compared to our technology. And they're just extremely desperate because of what this administration has done to stop and prevent the drugs from coming in, because a lot of it was. They're just really desperate, and they're doing it all for money and power.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah, because say with fentanyl, someone could see a $20 bill or a dollar bill on the ground, but it could have fentanyl in it, and they touch it and something happens to them, that they get, because the fentanyl can seep into your skin and can cause you to nearly, get deleted. Now, that was plaguing our country for a long time, and I think that Trump's done a good job with stopping all that stuff from coming in here. He's drastically reduced it when the other people just had all the gates open to let it in. It's almost like they're trying to destroy our country and destroy the people there, which makes no sense.
It makes zero sense. Absolutely.
Right. And also, that is all to say for this call. Thank you for taking my call, ABL. Shout out to you in chat.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to Alien Spaceship. Let's get one more call here. What's we get to, caller 517?
Hi, ABL, this is Kevin, the nervous Christian guy.
Alrighty.
You remember me?
I believe I do. Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to call and say a couple things because, I've been thinking about it. There's a lot to say. I want to talk about, but the one thing that I really want to talk about is the fact that I believe, I don't know what you think about this, but I think Trump, Trump knows he is at a tight, 50, it's close to 50-50. And when it comes to support for him around around America or around the world almost, he's at a tight 50-50. I'm thinking what's happening, and I could see it kind of happen, a little bit, little breadcrumbs. And I think what's going to happen is one morning we're going to wake up. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but this is what I'm thinking Trump is thinking. We're going to wake up, we're going to find out that about almost all of the people that were linked to Jeffrey Epstein or linked to the botching of the elections, all these people that have broke our laws for so long that are in power, all of a sudden we're going to wake up that morning, we're going to find out they've all been arrested. All of them. He just sent out an entire barrage or of people just to take everybody that has done something that is illegal. I believe Trump is waiting on that, and I think it's a really important thing because he really knows he's at 50-50. It's like when you get close to numbers where it's a little bit off and the balance isn't right, and it's a little off balance, and actually, excuse me, sorry about that. I mean, really balanced, and you could tell that it's swaying on both sides. One person does one thing, it sways one way. One person does another thing, it sways the other. And it's right there. People are on the edge of saying, oh, Trump is a fascist. Or if they're on the edge of saying Trump is one of the best presidents I think we've ever had. And I think he knows he's right there. And I think the best way he could orchestrate a plan is kind of like what he did to Maduro, Nicolas Maduro.
Yeah.
It's just in the middle of the night, just arrest them all. And I think he's going to do that also with Iran. I don't think Iran is so swayable, but Iran is still, because if we get the people of Iran into a fight, into a conflict with their own government, it could be turned bloody and it could go all against Trump. And they could be like, oh, this is all Trump's fault. And I think he's kind of on that a little with that. But I think it's more to do with like America. What do you think?
There's a lot there. What's your specific question?
What do you think that he's going to just go out and just arrest everybody? How do you think he's strategizing? Do you have any? Have you thought of any? Anything that you might think is a good way to go about getting rid of all these criminals that are in power?
Well, I don't really see everybody getting like mass arrested. I don't know about that, but I think some people that really need to go will go. Iran, I think Iran will be dealt with, but I'm not sure about a mass arrest. But I think that the things that need to happen will happen, in my humble opinion, before Trump is able to finish his term.
Yeah, I honestly, it's like I look at it. I look at it as like what arrows does he still have in his quiver? And if peace can happen, he's got to keep the peace. How would he go about it? That's how I look at it. I look at it as if people are going to get mad if it goes to chaos. You're going to all of a sudden be called. So he's kind of just looming around this. He knows he's tiptoeing the both lines. But anyway, I think he did a really good job. I'm going to say this. ABL, I love watching your show. I love it. You're amazing. I love it. I think you're one of the guys, one of the good guys. But I think really, one more thing before I go, I just wanted to say is I think that Trump is extreme. Man, the way he played the Denmark, Greenland problem, the Greenland issue that they had, which is now no longer anything. People haven't talked about it since. He played that like a king. Like it's like it didn't divulge into chaos. He won what he wanted to win. And I think that's what Trump is trying to do, is trying to keep the peace, but at the same time bring a really heavy sword. You know what I mean?
Right on, man. Thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you for your call.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Thank you. God bless her. ABL.
All right, now. Shout out to the caller. Great call. And I think that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I'll be back live on the YouTubes on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. It'd be 11:30 a lot. Now that I be finished. It's like I start a little late, then I say a little later, but usually 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm live on Instagram. Shout out to you guys who were live with me on Instagram last night. Okay. And I am going to post that full video. I'm going to post that. That'll come out Friday night. So if you want something to listen to, you want a podcast or something like that, it'll be out Friday night. I'm going to put the Tuesday stream out. Should it be Friday? Yeah, Friday, because you can listen to this and you can listen to that the next day. So yeah, this will be out. The audio version of this will be out tomorrow, which is Thursday, 8 a.m. The Instagram stream will be on YouTube. I'm going to do Friday morning rather than Friday night. So yeah, Friday morning for the full podcast and the audio of the Instagram. But tomorrow for this audio only. And like I said, this is an audio streaming platform as well. You can hear it on your favorite audio streaming platform. Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just search in your favorite audio streaming platform, ABL Live, and that should pop right on up. Shout out to you guys. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for a great show tonight, as always. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Thank you to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I got super chats on deck. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Thank you to Lawthair, my man, who says, ABL, you're wrong. That is not AI. It's an actual legit straight out of the Epstein files. The truth is the truth, and it's not AI. Trump and Clinton, no different than John Wayne Gacy. But the problem is, bro, you would not be the one to break that news. It wouldn't be you to be breaking that. If there's a picture for real of Melania Trump kissing Jeffrey Epstein, that'd be everywhere. That'd be on New York Post, New York Times, Washington Post. It wouldn't be a thing that I'm just learning right now from you. It'd be, respectfully, it'd be bigger news than any of us could ever really imagine. If that was the case, that would have been out. That would have came out in 2015. That would have came out when Epstein died. It's not a real picture, bro. Just understand it's not a real picture. Okay, and Lothar also says, ABL, I read through the emails. That's why he's mentioned 4,000 times, 341 pages. Trump's lying to us. He also says, I agree with you on immigration issue. There's so much issues with criminality and legal immigration. Also, he says, Ivan, shut up. You act like a child. And thank you to Gregortron, who says, where was the outrage when cocaine was found in the White House under Sloppy Joe? Ivan, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They found that booger sugar, that rock candy, right in the middle of the floor. Oh, who's this? Oh, I don't know. Here go Hunter and Joe looking like they got powder donut on their face. Oh man, I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that got right there. You know how they be. And the jaw crazy. You know how they be. He got caught on camera smoking crack, beaming at Scotty, and it's like it's okay. All right. You know the craziest part about the whole Hunter Biden thing and the crack smoke? People on the internet were talking about, oh, he looks cool. Cool? Since when was it cool to smoke crack? It's like, I grew up crack era. It was never cool to be a crackhead. To me, being 4 or 5 years old, seeing crackheads in my face in real time, to me, that was like looking at a zombie in real life. Like imagine permanently being in a horror movie. That's how the crack era was. Permanently. It's like always, always, all the time. It doesn't look cool. When I see Hunter smoking crack, I see a Walking Dead, straight zombie, a brain eater, somebody that's going to be just like fall apart in the dust if he get hit with a certain thing. If he get exposed to the sunlight, he'll just be like, that's what I see when I see a crack smoker in 2026. Cool, man, please. Anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. It's been a great win, but I'll be back live on Saturday. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace. Crack is whack. All right, I'm done.